Yes, hello. I'm Adira Slattery. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a game designer and poet and a few other things. Yeah, I'm one of the stretch goal writers for Wanderhome, the writer coordinator, technically. Yeah, uh, and my spouse just walked in yelling.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to mute myself for a moment and tell them to stop yelling.
That's fair. Well, I will pick up from there. Hello, all. My name is B. You can find me on Twitter as at B_Zelda. I am a podcaster. I'm a cast member of The Broadswords, which is an all-woman, non-binary actual play podcast. I am a streamer. You can catch me on a variety of channels like Salty Sweet Gaming, Roll20 app, something else, Utopia. I do other stuff. I'm working on designing a game. I guest on a lot of podcasts. I mostly exist, and I'm really hyped to play this game.
My name is Jeff Stormer. He, his pronouns. I am a podcaster, game designer, the official LARP designer of the Olive Garden restaurant, and as of yesterday, I believe one of the internet's foremost maker of great clown Pagliacci jokes. Well, you can find me on the One Shot Network on All My Fantasy Children, which is a character creation, storytelling, and world building podcast, which is sort of tabletop adjacent. How we like to describe ourselves these days. And you can find me on Twitter at Party of One Pod.
And I'm Steve Discott. I have a show on the One Shot Network where I'm one of the co-hosts of Session Zero, which is a discussion podcast oriented around exploring role-playing through psychology. I'm also an industrial organizational psychologist, which is just a really fancy way of saying an HR scientist. And I'm just an experienced gamer. I'm not as cool as the other folks here.
We think you're wonderful.
Yeah.
Stop.
You're a furry, so that's what matters.
Fair. Also, sure, yes. I'm also the director of programming for a very, very large furry convention.
James, you're still muted. Oh, in the beginning of the stream, it seemed like, yeah, everybody in chat, we can't hear James. Have you added your audio?
Okay. I'm probably working now.
Yep,
Great.
looks like you're good.
Great. Good. Okay. I guess I'll introduce myself last then.
Please.
Hello, heroes. My name is James D'Amato. I am the host of the One Shot podcast and Campaign Skyjacks podcasts, and we are about to play Wanderhome together. Wanderhome is a lovely game of pastoral fantasy using the No Dice, No Masters or Belonging Outside Belonging core system. I have so far played 2 Belonging Outside Belonging games and enjoyed both of them immensely, and one of those games was designed by Jay Dragon, who also happens to be the designer of Wanderhome. I am incredibly excited about this game because it, like everything that I have read about it so far and from like the descriptions of friends who have played it, it evokes all of like those cozy feelings that I need right now, like a body needs oxygen because I happen to be living through the times that we're all living through. And I am very, very excited to dive right into that. One of the things that we're going to be doing as part of playing this is making our characters together on air for you. Sometimes you do character creation before you really sit down to the table, but it's part of the process of play for this game, and we really want to show it off. Adira, as the, I'm going to say resident expert of this game, because as you've pointed out, not only have you played this game before, but you also did some work on this game. So please help guide us through this. To get started, should we talk about everybody's playbook that they're going to be using?
Yeah, so I would suggest we start off by each of us saying the name of our playbook, and at the top of your playbook, there's a couple little sentences that explain sort of what your playbook's all about, how they interact with the world, how they feel about a number of things, and then Also, all of us except for James have picked a name and pronoun for our character so far, so we can talk about those too. Yeah, cool. So I can go first. I'm going to be playing a vagabond. And for the vagabond, the world's taken everything from you, beat down on your shoulders and giving you an aching heart. Some people think you're a criminal or a monster. You know what you are. You are alive. Your care is invisible, cautious, and unimaginably deep. Yeah, and I'll be playing as he tops, she, her pronouns.
Alrighty.
Steve, why don't you go next?
I'm not fully committed to a character voice yet, so like I'm having a hard time like fully diving into Atari.
Well, we're not in character yet. We're still
Mhm.
building our characters, B. It's
I
okay.
know, but the introduction is kind of when it's like, here's this grand reveal, you know?
Yeah.
Well, save the prestige for after character creation. We're still creating the character.
Okay, thank you. So I will be playing, oh, I've got a wonderful name that I've already forgot. Atari Dewdrop Mango. I have chosen let me open this. I was a lot ready until I closed my tab.
That's a critical mistake that you like when you're a pro level player, like you learn that closing your tab is like a big mistake and you notice it in the moment. It's, you know, I know Twitch is like rife with pro gamers, and we're all here pro gamers for tabletop. And, you know, a pro gamer in a fighting game missing a combo, that's a big mistake. For us, it's closing a tab.
Or in my case, just not even having it open. You would think I have as of October been producing actual play content for 5 years. You would think that I would think I should have the game book in front of me when it's time to play the game. And yet, honestly, at least every other game I sit down to play, there's a moment where this happens and I go, oh no. Uh-oh, hold on. Click. Okay, we're good.
I believe I'm 7 years into this process and I opened the stream with my mic turned off. So we're all struggling.
I'm just going to blame 2020. So.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
B, did we stretch enough time for you? Do you have your...
Y'all are wonderful. Absolutely. So I am going to be playing the, how do we refer to them? As a class? As a...
Playbook.
Oh, it's a playbook. Excellent. I am playing the Ragamuffin playbook, which is so cute. I have chosen the name Atari Dewdrop Melon. My pronouns are they, them. The animal I will represent and I'm playing is a little baby skunk. Smaller than average skunks because they're just really cute. And I encourage everybody to Google baby skunks. Your day and or night will be greatly improved.
I'll be the judge.
And
of
the
that.
paragraph at the top, B?
Absolutely. Run, scream, play, steal, and all of the above. Live. You are alive. Your care is exuberant, honest, and naive.
Love,
So heckin' cute.
love to have Ragamuffin.
Ragamuffin everywhere.
So not only does a Google of baby skunk pull up photos of adorable baby skunks, it also pulls up the baby Amscan little stinker costume. Also adorable. Just putting that out into the universe.
All right, let's move on down the line. Jeff.
Yeah. So I am playing Sender Desdemona, she, her pronouns. Sender is the caretaker playbook. Someone must pay attention to all the small and forgotten things in the world. Someone must listen to the voiceless. You are alive. Your care is tender, supportive, and silent.
And that is gonna leave Steve.
Hey.
And yourself.
Yes. I'm waiting for Steve to go because then I can swoop in and claim one of the unclaimed playbooks.
Sure. So I am playing the dancer. People who know me know this is extremely appropriate. Your inner fire is a song in your heart, not a voice in your head. The world will not quiet you. You are alive. Your care is intense, vocal, and lighthearted. My character's name is Palmier Macaron, and he has he/him pronouns.
Love it. And then I think the Firelight has not been chosen, if I am correct.
Yeah, go for it.
Excellent. So I will be playing the Firelight playbook. It is easy to get lost in the darkness and deep, and the firefly at your side is always the firefly at your side will always guide the way. You are alive. Your care is forward-thinking, mutual, and shining bright. I am going to be a raccoon named Gustav, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good name. Classic name.
Gustav.
And what are Gustav's pronouns?
Gustav is going to be a he, him, I believe. And that means I have more work to do as I put Gustav's name and pronouns into my window.
While you do that, how about we talk more about how the playbooks are structured? So the playbooks in Wanderhome are a group of lists. And you're going to be picking a bunch of different things from the lists that are all super evocative and super cool and will do a whole bunch of different things for building your character and creating all of this super neat story. I said super a whole bunch. So for instance, the first thing that some people have already talked about that you pick after picking a name and pronouns is choosing an animal. Everybody in Wanderhome is all cute animal folk, and it's nice. And animals are fun. And then we're going to talk about some things we are and aren't, and we're going to talk about our looks and things like that. So I have all of those picked out for me right now. So I'm going to read through all of those and then have that over to B, and have B talk about Atari. So Ezzy is a cobra. Love to be a snake. Next thing is I'm going to choose two that I call myself and two I staunchly insist I'm not. I call myself a cheat and a flirt, and I staunchly insist I am not a traitor or a gentleman. And then to describe my look, there is a whole bunch of really cool things: a black cloak, a terrifying mask, a deck of cards, a stolen purse, loose clothing, a scarf big enough to hide in, a gauze wrapped splint, my own wanted posters, a quick word, a sharp jab, all these super cool things. And I have picked an ostentatious belt, a stylish wide-brimmed hat.
What does your hat look like? What about it is stylish?
Well, it's just the peak of fashion. The hat is wide and a bit sort of droopy. What's really stylish about it are the colors. It is just covered in, at first you might think it's like patches, but when you look, it's like, no, it's all just one fabric altogether of all these splotches and wonderful groups of colors. And I'm also going to pick a deck of cards. Cool. So that's Ezzy. Ezzy's a cheat and a flirt, not a traitor or a gentleman. And she's got an ostentatious belt, a deck of cards, and a stylish wide-brimmed hat.
Love it.
Oh, she sounds wonderful.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
B.
Oh yeah. I'm slowly working on my little ragamuffin Atari. They are a baby skunk, and I think that they're absolutely adorable. You know, there's no way you can look again, Google images of baby skunks. You cannot look at them and not say or oh my gosh, I need 5 of them at least to hold for 30 seconds until they do baby things. So I think adorable is reasonable. Ooh, choose 2 that you are. I think smart. You know, they know how to get what they want. And if that just happens to be garbage or some love and respect, that's fine.
Sound very millennial. I want either garbage or love and respect.
And then 2 things that I refuse to be. I think quiet is one of them. You know, you can't keep them quiet. It's just when they're this adorable, they have a lot to say. And they refuse to be scared. You can't spook this little baby skunk no matter what. I am a loud and powerful little ragamuffin, and there is nothing you can do to spook me. Now to choose 3 to 4 to describe my look. There are some really good options if I can take a second. Wooden sword, flowers in hand, stuffed animal, poke and stick. I mean, I'm going to take the poke and stick. Suspenders, ocarina, always backwards cap, love it. Awkwardly sized cloak, grass-stained jeans. I can't even imagine. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm a little baby, so I've got some grass-stained jeans, a poke and stick, a gap-tooth smile, and overwhelming love for life. That is part of your look. Aww. That's the one.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Jeff, have you put any thought into your wonderful? I can't quite even recall the animal that you're gonna play.
I am playing a crow. Sender is a crow.
A crow.
Yes.
So she is a crow. I'm going to choose 2 that I value being and 2 that I find exhausting. I value being alert and I value being friendly. I value together. I value noticing the things that other people haven't noticed, because I think those are the things that are beautiful and often forgotten. And those tiny details are where tiny divinity and tiny godhood lives. It is nonetheless exhausting to be gentle. I don't like having to hold back the words that I want to say to spare someone's feelings. It is exhausting, and it is extremely exhausting to be organized, and that is a Sender trait. That is not a Jeff Stormer trait. I want that noted. I mean, I'm immaculately organized, as noted by the fact that I had my book in front of me when we started today. So I'm going to choose 3 to 4 to describe my look. I have huge glasses because I want you to take a moment to picture a crow in just giant Coke bottle frames. Wonderful, extremely good. I also have, tying into sort of why I find it so exhausting to be organized, is I have a collection of a box of squat candles. Basically, if you picture, like, none of them match. Like, it's not a set of candles. They've all been burned to various ends. They've all been used to different amounts. None of them are together. You know, some of them are barely a nub of wax, but like they're all in this box. I have a wind chime that I carry with me at all times, and you know, that's a whole other thing that I have to try and keep organized on my person.
Jeff, will you talk a little bit louder, please?
I sure can. I can also pull my mic a little closer to my face. Is that
there?
better?
You go.
All right. Hi, everybody. I also have some sketch covered paper. I just have a lot of things. I collect things. I collect art. I collect experiences, and sometimes managing all of those things is a bit of a challenge. And that is Sender in a nutshell so far.
I guess. Nice. Do you ever get exhausted by not having to, like, do you have to, like, hold back your crow curses when little baby skunk or a ragamuffin is around? Somebody cover my ears.
I do, and that's part of it's exhausting to be gentle. It is exhausting to have to carry myself with a care, because there is a young one here that needs to be cared for, and like I'm happy to do it. You know, I love taking care of people, but you're gonna learn some words eventually, and it may as well be from a trusted friend.
Oh no. Oh.
Maybe that's on your list of services. I will teach your kids swears. They will learn how to use them correctly under my tutelage.
And that is also on Sender's list of services. I would like that note.
Heck yeah.
Teaching swears. That feels appropriate for a Corvid, yeah. So Palmier, my dancer, is a golden lion tamarin. For those who aren't familiar, tamarin is a type of monkey. With, in this case, golden lion, they have a very golden orange fur. choose 2 things you are and 2 you wish you were better at being. So the things that I am are honest and I'm handsome. But the things that I wish I was better at being was focused and beautiful. And then choose 3 to 4 things to describe your look. So there's a lot of really good options here, but the things I was thinking of going with were I have golden jewelry. Kind of, and I got this image in my head that sometimes it's hard to tell where the jewelry starts and the fur stops. I wear elaborate silks. I have a hand-pan drum, and I have a necklace of huge beads.
Ooh, you fancy.
Nice. Cool.
Love it.
So James, why don't you tell us about Gustav?
Yes. So Gustav, as I have said before, is a raccoon. And I think I have just decided Gustav is a raccoon with kind of the light coffee coloration. Like, you've got your traditional gray raccoon, but like there are variant colors on raccoons. And do yourself a favor while we're just throwing Google favors out there. Google brown raccoons. Google the darker pigment coloration and lighter pigment coloration like variant raccoons, because they're all spectacular and it'll fill an afternoon for you. Gustav is I decided discerning and positive. And I've got a question to Adira about the playbook, because the playbook says two that you always try to be and 2 that you know you can't be. Is this that the character knows that the character can't be, or I know that the character can't be?
The character knows.
Okay, so that is going to mess around with some of my things. Oh no. Oh, I guess that's too tragic.
No, do it.
Gustav,
Let's cry.
it's gonna be enough. Gustav knows he can't ever be enough, which is just
Good. That's good. That's good is the thing. The thing is, James, it's Jeff Stormer, your friend. That's real good.
Okay.
Real good.
All right. So then I am going to be, what does Gustav know that he can't be? I'm going to put in resolute, because I feel like that dovetails nicely with not thinking you're enough.
Yeah.
So then for his look, I chose comfortable gloves and a wooden staff, because again, as I've established with Gustav knows or always tries to be discerning. And, I think Gustav fancies himself like a fashionable person, which brings me to my third thing, which is a box of medical supplies, as Gustav truly believes that it is the height of fashion to have a box of medical implements. And he will show it to people and comment on it very frequently. This is what the doctors use.
What's more fashionable, Ezzy's hat or your box of medical tools?
Okay. Are we being real? Because it's the hat, unquestionably. However, Gustav is convinced, like, oh, it's a nice hat. Where's your box of medical supplies?
Awesome. So the next thing, each of our playbooks is going to sort of split off a whole bunch more and talk about some very unique things to them. For each of us has 2 more lists. One that's about this sort of very like unique thematic thing about it, and then something about some objects. So let's just answer that first one, and then we can do objects around in a circle next, because I have a really big list of crimes to pick from. Hello, I'm playing a criminal. So I'm going to choose 2 crimes that I've been falsely accused of, and 2 I'm actually guilty of. These crimes include betraying your community's way of life, betraying your partner in crime, burning crops, cheating at cards, destruction of government property, falling in love with the wrong person, killing your king, killing a god, slaying a dragon, stealing livestock, wrecking marriages, carousing, betraying the cause, poaching, stealing money, all sorts of
Is
fun
this
activities.
this playbook is just for McCavity.
I like how we went from cheating at cards to killing a god. That feels
Yeah.
like a natural
Right?
progression there.
Again,
No.
this is McCavity.
McCavity has committed all of betraying and
Yes,
more. Yes.
at least.
So I think Ezzy is falsely accused of betraying her kingdom and of destruction of ancient artifacts. And she is guilty of stealing hearts. And I gotta pick killing a god.
You gotta.
Absolutely.
How could you have that on a sheet and not feel like? I feel it's mandatory.
Exactly. So, B, why don't you talk about your next question?
Well, mine's a little bit more wholesome. You know?
What could be
choose
more
two
wholesome
life-
than killing a god?
I just don't think it is. You know?
Not with that attitude.
Ugh.
Real.
I get to choose 2 life lessons that I've been taught and 2 that I have rejected. And in my little skunky ragamuffin life, I think, you know, when kids just find out about death, it kind of becomes all encompassing. Well, I think they are kind of discovering this maybe through a story that Ezzy has shared, because she has lived a life. Oof. So they know that everything must someday die, and that's a life lesson that like they're cool with, but it's also they're a little creepy about. I'm thinking like these are all just so wholesome. Like kindness is stronger than anything else. It's better to give than receive. The world is bigger than you can wrap your head around. All stories are lies. But then it's also like your heroes will let you down. I think that's something I reject. I can't believe that anybody will let me down.
I'm excited to let you down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no. Another
Believe you me.
crime.
Add it to the list.
Heck, what is a life lesson that I've been taught and that I'm okay with though? The squishy baby in me just wants like kindness is stronger than anything else. Love that shit. What else have I rejected? I think I have rejected that the world is bigger than I can wrap my head around. Because I know everything. I'm a little baby. I just figured out people die. I have got it all figured out.
Oh no.
Amazing.
Love it.
All right. So, Jeff, you've got a long one.
Yes, I do. Luckily, I've already made my choices. I'm good. I'm going to choose up to 5 friends that hide in the many shrines that I carry with me. My friends include Dulcet, a god of tiny melodies who is dramatic and glamorous. Guile, a breeze god who is watchful and oracular. Nader, the god of a single shadow who is pensive and invisible. Talk, a chalk god who is sturdy and venerable. And Wick, a candle god who is passionate and luminescent.
What?
These are my friends. These are my friends. These are my things, but also my friends.
I feel like I
Yeah.
might like one of your
Things-
friends a lot.
Things have stories, and things have spirits, and things have beings, and these things, there's a reason that I carry them around with me.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So I think it's time to hear about some dances from Palmier.
Yeah. So I get to choose 3 dances I will gladly dance and 1 I'll never dance again. So the ones that there's a long list here, so I'm going to just go with the ones that I picked. So the ones I will gladly dance are a dance you dance with the many small and forgotten gods to earn luck and wisdom. A dance you dance with the water and the waves to bring calm and tranquility. And a dance you dance with your friends to celebrate life and all it gives us.
Oh.
The dance that I will never dance again is perfectly appropriate with what one of Atari's lessons is. which is I refuse to dance again. The dance you dance with the deepest dark to bridge the gates of life and death.
Oh, wow.
That seems like a pretty good dance to avoid.
Yeah, so I feel
frankly,
like
yeah.
I feel like I feel like maybe you're the reason I'm never doing that dance again.
Oh, what happened
Amazing.
last time you danced?
I don't know, but maybe it's tied to how you learned about the life that everything must come to an end or die.
Oof.
Woof.
We're gonna find out later that it just like you just like missed a step and you're embarrassed.
I was just it's honestly my life's work's shame is that I pirouetted when I was supposed to be in position 1. I had a position 5 and it was just
embarrassing.
It ruined the entire thing, and I'm so ashamed of that performance. You will never see that dance ever again.
Oh.
Well, so Gustav also has a friend.
Yeah, Gustav gets a as I've found out, a couple friends.
Yeah.
The first is you have a firefly, your companion that stays by your side no matter what. They sleep during the day and light up at night. They're always luminescent. Choose 1 through 2 to describe how you met. And so I've been thinking about this, and I kind of wanted to combine It's a Whole Story. It's too long to tell, with plenty of incredible mishaps along the way, making them adventurous and inquisitive, but I wanted to dovetail that with they came to you in a dream, and when you woke up, they were there. So what it is it's a dream that Gustav has, and he always starts explaining it, and people always have to cut him off because it's I was in my room, but it wasn't my room, right? And like, even the most generous soul can really only let him get 5 minutes into this story before he has to skip ahead and go, well, and I woke up and they were there. So his firefly's name
My
is...
favorite bedtime story. My favorite. I always fall asleep within like 3 minutes.
Oh, around the campfire, you just ask, could you tell me the story of how you met Larry again? And of course, Gustav will launch into it and realize you've fallen asleep.
Your firefly is named Larry?
Yes. Larry, my firefly,
Larry!
You're telling the story again. I'm going to take a walk. I am not bored. This is not a boring story.
No.
I'm just don't want to be here as you tell it. Good day.
So now we've all gonna pick some possessions, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's everything for your friend, James?
Yes, that is everything for the friend.
Cool. So I'm going to choose one thing I carry with me and one that's been stolen from me. And I'm going to tell the table about them. I'm going to, so what I carry with me is, these are all so good.
Will you read us out some options?
Yes,
because
sorry.
I have some amazing options too, and I want to hear what you got.
A pink orchid, the symbol of your time with the rebellion. A beautiful necklace you acquired from an ambitious noble. A book of magic spells you picked up from a witchy crone that you can't read. Your shadow that moves of its own volition. A different name that your partner in crime gave you. A tattered blanket, the last thing you have is memory of your parents. And a secret you're not supposed to have about the king of the floating mountain.
Oh my God, these are all so good.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to carry the secret, and my shadow has been stolen from me.
Dope. Love
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Oof, how do I follow that one up?
I mean, I feel like
your objects are a lot.
But I feel like you're also like the wholesome counter to
Wait till
Yeah.
I read some of these options, because it goes from like super cute, wonderful baby skunk, and then so I could choose one thing that I carry openly and one thing I carry secretly. My options are the Ring of 99 Vengeful Demons, the greatest treasure of the King of the Floating Mountain, which I will take, and it's a secret.
Yes. Good move. Hey
Powerful
B,
move.
very good move on that.
Real power move. I know we were talking about pro level tabletop gamer moves.
Exactly.
And I
This
feel
is
like
a
we just
pro.
watched one.
Yeah, so we're going to be our own sort of running commentary, and B on that one really ran away with it. That's a move. That's going to be a move that might be play of the game. We'll see how it plays out.
Really Wanderhome speedrun strat.
And already B's run away with the secret of the mountain.
All right, thanks,
Got it. I
Cotton.
got
Let's
the
get back.
treasures. So to decide what thing I carry openly, I can choose a Heaven Blade, which I thought was lost after being used to kill the slobbering god. A young Paradise Mantis, the last of its kind, which I'm kind of wanting because everybody has cute things, but I think I'll just interact with what you have. A necklace with a painting of your birth family on it. Cute, but a mask with a terrifying visage. I'm into it. But if I carry it openly, I want to be cute, and that destroys that image.
Mhm.
The capacity to see brief snippets of the future. Cool. Game changing. And then a dragon's egg. I want to see brief snippets of the future. I think
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really good at telling the weather for
Mm.
like 2 to 3 minutes ahead of time.
Yeah.
Which has its uses, and perhaps there's other uses that
Nice.
my little skunk nose can tell us of the future.
Mhm. So cool.
Oh, I love Atari so much. I just have this ring of 99 vengeful demons just like stored in one of their pockets casually. You don't hear the shrieking of the demons or anything.
No. That's the
So,
win.
Sander,
Yes.
what do you got?
So I'm gonna read the options that I could take. I'm gonna read the options I could take and then talk about the option that I am taking.
Okay.
I could take a bronze censer that fills with smoke and light bestowed on me by a learned mentor. I could take a beautiful walking stick adorned with feathers and runes carved by my wise grandmother. A series of bells of increasing size rescued from a flaming temple with the help of a proper priest. An ornate dagger that cannot be used to kill, forged by the last great hero of a bygone age. A rock with a hole worn in it, gifted by a strange and invisible creature who has watched over me. Or a handbook attempting to name all the gods, written by a poetic writer I once loved. What I'm going to take is a deck of oracular cards, hand painted by an empathetic childhood friend who could hear the gods whispering.
Oof.
Nice.
I think this deck, a lot of these paintings have faded, so only about half of them have like things on them. I'm going to say only about a quarter of them have their original paintings on them because it's been so long. And what I have replaced them with is, because I care for people, every time I care for someone, I ask them to like repaint one of the cards in whatever capacity they choose. So, I hand them a blank card or one of the cards where the painting has faded off completely, and I say like paint this. And this way it becomes a gift of it honors the memory of my childhood friend, and it allows me to carry a piece of everyone that I walk with on this long and occasionally lonesome journey.
Oh, I love that.
Baby.
Amazing.
Sweet precious baby.
Look at the no, sorry.
If we do that, we're going to do it too much.
Oh yeah. Because that's not how improv ends up going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. All right. So let's hear about Palmier.
Sure. So I get to choose 2 things you carry with you and tell the table about them. So I'll read them off, and then I'll tell you which ones I picked. So you could have some snacks for the friendly bug who sits on your shoulder,
Oh,
a song you always whistle taught by a quiet mentor who no longer dances, a nice pair of dancing shoes gifted by a cheerful friend who laughs at your jokes, a dagger bestowed by a funny and raucous gang of hyenas who consider you family, a small toy from an inquisitive child you've promised to teach how to dance, a ring from someone you once fell in love with that you cannot bear to throw away, and a jade necklace from a faraway village you once called home. So I am going with a ring from someone you once fell in love with that you cannot bear to throw away. This is, I feel like, it's going to be one of the the major hinge points of my golden jewelry. Uh,
Ooh.
but it is a piece that stands out. I think because it has various precious stones in it as well. So it is something that stands out. I feel like it is going to be one of those type of things where the ring has segments to it. Um, and then I'm also going with the dagger bestowed by a funny and raucous gang of hyenas consider you family, because I just like the idea of this this tamarin monkey that a whole gang of hyenas are like, you're pretty cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I can picture that story in my head where like it looks like it's going to be a bad situation, but they love your dancing, so instead they invite you out for drinks and you wake up the next morning
and then
with
they
a cool
give you
gift.
a cool knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
you're pretty cool. Be careful when you stab people.
Does anybody have the box of knives that we give to cool people?
It just says cool knives on the side.
No, we're giving you the family knife, not the cool knife. We're giving you the family knife because you're family now, right?
When you're here.
Yeah.
When you're here, and here being in the presence of the family knife.
Here are the Pride Lands. Your family.
Let's hear about Gustav's possessions.
So Gustav, I'm assuming possessions are the thing that happens immediately next. So
Yeah.
I've got one that I get to choose from. And the options
What's the
are
question?
choose one you always keep it with you, and one that you won't let go of even though the light has died out. So the choices here are a rusted iron lantern that your mother carried before you, an ornate bronze oil lamp that your last memory that is a bronze oil lamp, your last memory of your childhood home, a box of expensive beeswax candles gifted by an adventurous ex-love as a going-away present, a simple box of wooden incense, or a simple wooden incense holder shaped like a crashing wave that anchors you to your faith, a pack of smokes that reminds you of sitting on the porch with your poetic love, the passion in your heart that burned for the rebellion. And the one that I definitely know that I'm going with is it sort of dovetails with the Firefly. And I need to explain one thing that I didn't read about the last thing that I chose about the Firefly is that they came to me in my dream and I woke up and they were there. That makes the Firefly oracular. And you might be wondering, Stream, why didn't James tell us about this before? And it's because I didn't know how the word was pronounced or what it meant, and I had to Google it super quick. That means, relating to fortune telling, in case anybody out there who's like me and has not encountered that word in the wild before. But the other thing that it accompanies after that word is, and you're not really sure they're a firefly. And it dovetails with this choice that I've made because I am going with Wisp, a small and forgotten, many-faced god who is in love with your firefly. Can't deny that. That's too good. Can't pass that up. And since romance is already a theme, I think I'm going to go with a box of expensive beeswax candles gifted by an adventurous ex-love as a going-away present. And the candles are what has died out and I won't let go of. And the many-faced god Wisp is what I always keep with me. So that's that. My love has died away, but Larry, the firefly, his love options are still open and out there. And in fact, hanging from a glass bulb in my staff.
Nice. So, the next thing that's on our playbook is that we're done. Wow, hooray! Woo! Characters have been created. So let's talk about how the game works. So in sort of belonging outside belonging, no dice, no masters style game, you're going to be collecting tokens and spending tokens to be able to do different things. Now, all of us can spend tokens to do the same things, and all of us can get tokens in the same way. But each of us have some special things that we can always do without having to spend a token. So I'm going to read the, just sort of very briefly, the sorts of things that everybody can do. And then I'm going to read all the things that I can do. And we can go around in a circle. And actually, we're not done with characters. I forgot a step.
The left and right?
Yes, the left and right questions.
Yeah, bonds. I love character bonds.
Yes. So how about
Adira, I think you're
we
connected to
say the
memes.
things that we can always do, and then ask the questions to the left and right in a circle.
That
Cool.
Works for me.
Cool. So, as the vagabond, I can always be somewhere I'm not supposed to be, have something I'm not supposed to have, know something I'm not supposed to know, lie, say I have a bad feeling about this, and ask someone, do you trust me? And they get a token and I get a token if they say yes.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
So those are things the vagabond can always do. So that sort of sets up some of my relationships, one which I'm going to ask to the left and one which I'm going to ask to the right. So this circle we've been going in, is that the same order that we are on the screen?
Let me double check.
It's a little complicated. Right
No.
now, Adira, you are above Jeff and adjacent to me. But if
Okay.
we were to follow the loop, you would be adjacent to Jeff and I think, well, I guess that would be me. Yeah.
It would be you and B is who I'd be adjacent to.
Yeah, you'd be U and B, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess if. Well.
Are we fine with that?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So to the right of me, I'll say is B. And why do I call you my only friend?
Oh,
I said really well.
That's sweet, but also pretty tragic at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A little bit of a skunk. And I think it's just like I listen. Like, what is it about you that you don't like? Yeah, why me? Why don't you consider others? What's going on there? What's the disconnect with everybody else versus why I'm your only friend?
I mean, you probably got better options than me.
I think that a lot of people are so beaten down, and like so is Ezzy. Ezzy's like not really very happy as a person. But seeing like how happy Atari is, I think is like a big source of connection there. Yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah, I'm thinking almost sort of this like almost an annoying into begrudgingness into actual appreciation.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, do you like that?
yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And then I'm going to ask one to the left. Gustav, how did we get off on the wrong foot?
I think I always try to put on airs whenever I'm talking to people because I have this concept of like a better version of myself and I'm always trying to live that concept. And it kind of feels like to me like Ezzy appreciates authenticity. And you know, like even when Gustav is being authentic, like he's kind of a sad sack. So, you know, there's such a disconnect there. So like you had that initial meeting of like, let me show you my cool box of medical tools, huh? Pretty nice. And you're like, no, thanks. And then maybe, you know, we got to have a night under the stars around the fire, sharing drinks where, you know, the realness of people, even people who try to wear masks and conceal themselves comes out. And what did you find beneath those airs? A sad sack. So it's like, why dig further? What more could there possibly be?
Amazing. All right. B, why don't you go over the things that Atari can always do and ask some questions?
I can always get distracted, get really invested in new interests, blurt out a secret, somehow manage to squeeze yourself out of trouble. If I ask, do you want to hang out with me? You get a token if you say yes. I can also ask, do you want to see something really cool? And you also get a token if you say yes. It's not going to be something cool. It's like a bug that I smashed. Like, you want to see it? It's smushed. So I'm super in love with this character. Who is the person to my left? If somebody could just dictate that.
Left is me, and right is Jeff.
Okay. Ezzy, how do you feel about the fact that I've decided that you're my new parent?
We didn't see that coming.
Oh,
Wow.
pro gamer shit right there.
That's how Izzy feels. That's just oh my god. Just putting her head into her snake hands.
I'll follow you anywhere.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's okay. I appreciate it. This is a bad idea, but you know what? We can work with this.
It's a really bad idea. I just want you to know, as your friend, I want you to know that I'm just concurring with you that we both know this is a terrible idea, right?
Thank you, Senator. Thank you.
But I'm just letting you know that I'm here with you in this moment. Like this is a connection between us.
Ezzy, I want you to know, like, it's been established that I'm honest, and I just want you to know, regardless if this is a good or a bad idea, this is great to watch from the outside.
It's okay. I'm totally fine with all of this.
I'm slightly
lie.
envious of Atari because I always wanted to have a parental figure like Ezzy. So
One who kills gods, yes.
yeah.
Best kind of parental figure. Who better to look up to?
And then one more question to your right for Sender.
Yes, Sunder, what do I do that really, truly next level gets on your nerves?
I'm
so cute. I can't possibly imagine a single thing that I do. I don't show off cool stuff. I don't ask, hey, you want to see this? Do I hang out too much? Like,
you don't ask me for advice. It is this is my purpose. This is what I have devoted myself to. And you went with Ezzy? I mean, look, I love Ezzy. She's great. She's a treasure. But like, I know you're young, and I know that. But like, it's fine. It's, you know what? It's oh my god, it's fine. Talking to children sometimes. That is what it is. It is that you went to you go to Ezzy for advice, and every single time it happens, I'm like slightly off frame, like with a cup of coffee, like going to Ezzy.
Is that your anime moment where there's like the hazy black box behind you and you're just kind of looking down?
I think it's my like office moment where it just like hands over and I'm just like looking at the camera like.
I like to imagine that you've got like one of those nice tin mugs for travel, and like it maybe has a little bit of a dent in it as your grip tightens every time.
A mysterious grip that looks a lot like a clenching fist. So strange.
It's
or a
very
clenching
strange.
bird hand.
This child is at an important crossroads, and they need to seek the guidance of an older and they're going right to Ezzy.
Ezzy, okay.
Okay.
So
And now something is on fire. Great, good.
yeah, if you rip them off fast enough, no one can do anything about it.
I'm gonna go for another walk.
But the story is just starting. We have
Gustav,
to
did you want to
listen.
talk about the story? Did you want to tell the dream story again? 'Cause I'm gonna go for a walk.
Awesome. So why don't we hear what Sender can always do and
Mm-hmm.
get some relationships there?
Sender can always pause, tilt her head to the side, and keep going. I can always say something in silence better than words can. I can always notice a little friend everyone else overlooked. I can play with one of my gods. I can say, hush, listen. And I can ask, can you hear that?
Ooh.
So I'm asking questions to Mango and Palmier.
Yeah.
So Mango or Atari,
I love that you'd call me Mango. Like that's my parents'
Oh my
name.
gosh, yes.
Mango,
Mango.
Mango,
What'd I do?
Oh, Mango. Mango, which of my small and forgotten gods did you rescue and give to me?
Can you tell me about them again? Because I fell in
can.
love with the candle, but I know there was more.
Dulcet, a god of tiny melodies. Guile, a breeze god. Nader, a god of a single shadow. Talk, a chalk god. Or Wick, a candle god.
I'm sorry, a chalk god?
A chalk god.
Like I can okay, what was the bond again? Like do I get to hang out with this god?
You hold on, let me find the exact wording.
Do you remember the Nickelodeon cartoon Chalk Zone? It's that.
Do I? Hold on, maybe.
You rescued this god and gave to me.
Shucks, I've never seen that. I love the idea that I rescued them. And we bonded for a bit and we did a lot of great chalk art. It was mostly just like stick people on roads. But I got bored, so here you go.
I treasure it. You know what? Like it was a great moment, and you know, things have stories and things have memories, and I appreciate that memory.
I draw better with my poking stick in the dirt.
That's fair.
Nice. You don't need a god. You got a stick.
I got a poking stick. It is superior.
And Palmier, what is something
Yes.
that I knew about you that I had no right to know about you?
That is a good question. I think you know that I learned the dance with the deepest dark when I never was supposed to. I think this dance to bridge the gates of life and death is one that you only learn when you have been exposed to death yourself. Whether that is one that you have caused or one that you've experienced.
I love that.
And I think you're the only one who, I think out of everyone here, you're the one who knows that I have been exposed to death like that.
Got it.
And I'm going to say that, you specifically know that my ring is tied to that.
Got it. Love it.
Good time feelings.
Good time feelings.
Hey.
Games for
Certainly
friends.
feelings.
Let's hear about the things that Palmier the dancer can always do.
Sure. So Palmier can always dance idly, tell everyone about what the sky is doing right now, laugh and smile, pull a well-meaning prank, ask, do you want to be my friend?
Yeah. I mean,
They get a token if they say yes, and ask, will you dance a dance with me?
no.
Cool, perfect. You know what? Wait. No, I don't get to ask Atari, so never mind. I asked Sender and Gustav, right?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. One of the questions here that I'm not going to go with now because I was going to use it on you was why won't you ever dance with me? Because you said that.
No.
But I'm not going to go with that. Okay. Sender. Why do I call you my best friend?
Oh.
I think it is because tying into the fact that I know that you have never been exposed to death, and I know that your ring is tied to the dance that you will never do again. I think I also I think I was there, like I think you and I have had conversations about that. Like you've come to me. There's a lot of times where I'm walking alone for various reasons, and like in those walks you've come with me, and like, you know, you've asked me questions about the dance and we've talked it through, and we've had a lot of alone time together, and like I have given you a lot of guidance, and I've talked you through like your feelings around, you know, your fears and your anxiety around the fact that you know this dance and you did this dance despite not having sort of the life experience to really like allow you to use it thoughtfully.
So I'm gonna jump in just because I
Yeah.
feel like, so what I said was that I have been exposed to that type of
Oh,
dance.
you have been.
Either
Sorry, I
that
thought you
I
said
ca-
you haven't.
No, so either to know that dance, you've had to have either almost or have died yourself, or to have
Oh,
caused the death of someone else.
sorry, I thought you said you haven't. Got it.
Sorry
Thank
about
you
that.
for no problem. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah.
So I think it is. So let me ask you then an important question.
Sure.
Have you yourself died? Did someone close to you die, or did you cause a death? Because I think that the answer is that like I know the specifics of that because we have like talked it through because like that was a mystery that like I kind of
Sure.
like dug into to like learn, and like in doing so like we formed that connection of like that sort of very visceral and intense experience that is tied to that dance. Like I kind of dug in a little bit to sort of share with you that kind of large burden
Mhm.
of it, right?
So your question was, have I died or has someone close to me died?
Yes.
And the answer is yes.
Okay, I love it. Perfect answer. Pro strat.
Yeah.
And
Don't know how I came back. Not even gonna explore that one unless it comes up in game.
doesn't
but,
don't yeah. Let's leave that one blank for now. But I think like we have talked about that partially because I think Sender, in that kind of very alert way, likes to know these things about the people that she travels with. So like she kind of didn't let up and like very kind of like in that not so gentle way kind of dug in and was like talk to you and kind of like dug in to like learn that really deep history that like now you and I now I think you come to me as like you know this, you know what I'm going through, you know what's in my past.
It's like the classic therapist move of, it seems like something's bothering you.
Yeah.
No, really, you seem, you know, the way that you said that, I'm wondering what's going on. And you just keep doing that until I won't. Until it's like, fine.
Yep. And I think now, like, and once you opened up, like, it became a thing where you started seeking me out. Like, anytime I was like, Gustav's in the story mode again, I'm going for a walk. You're like, oh, hold on. I'm gonna walk with you. And I'm like, great.
Awesome.
I look forward to the
Maybe
play.
that's how you even got trapped into like having to admit that in the first place. Is like, well, it's either I hear this story or I talk to this person who has a way of getting past my defenses.
I hear the story or I have to admit that I've died. Gotta pick one.
So, speaking of Gustav, what's your next question?
Speaking of stories, so Gustav, what was the last time we stayed up all night to watch the sunrise?
Good.
I think last night. I think we do it pretty regularly. Like, I being like I'm getting a big sense from this role is that like part of my character's like identity for themselves is that, you know, I lead people through the darkness. So I think Gustav like kind of has the feeling of I need to see the sunrise because that's when my work is over. Then the sun's got it and lighting the way. But until then, it's really my job. And I think like I used to put this on myself for a long time. And I think Gustav on first meeting, you know, he doesn't do great. And a second meeting, he's really still not doing great. But as you get to third and fourth, like eventually, like you can become curious about this person and you can talk to him. And like there is something there. And when he gets you in a conversation, I think those conversations can be winding and nodding. Like I very recently talked to a friend on the phone for like 2 hours, and like that can just happen. And I think that can happen with you and Gustav. Like if you happen to like catch yourself in the wrong moment, the sun will be coming up. And yeah, so I think it's last night because like It's happened to you a couple times, and it is always a lovely time, but then you have to deal with being tired the next day.
I dig
Nice.
it.
Alrighty, which means I have to read through, or I get to tell you about the things that I can always do. The things that I can always do. Number 1, pet my firefly, which, update that Twitter account in Wanderhome. You can pet the firefly. Number 2 is notice the time of day. I can also illuminate something in the darkness. This one that I especially love is keep walking. Then I can say, watch your step, or I can ask, do you need a hand? And if someone says yes, they get a token if they accept my help on that. Now for my questions. I am going to. I really had a difficult time deciding who gets which questions. I think I am going to go with Palmier on this. When did you lead me back into the light? Yeah. And perhaps because being the light that leads people is so important to my character, I should be phrasing it this way. When did you lead me back into the light?
Emphasis on the right syllable.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good question. I'm trying to think that one through. If it's okay, can you go to your other question and we can come back to mine?
Yeah. And again, both of these questions I think would have been really juicy delivered to either character, but the question that I've decided to deliver to Ezzy is, where do you wish I could guide you, and why can't I?
I think Ezzy wishes that you could guide her to someplace that she won't be recognized.
I literally, as you were saying that in my head, I was thinking someplace they've never heard of her. And like you said that, I'm like, yeah, ooh, I'm loving this. We're in sync on this. That's great.
Yeah.
Why can't I do that?
Because having been falsely accused of betraying the kingdom and the king of the floating mountain, a lot of people know who Ezzy is. Good people know, bad people know, just normal people know. And it was kind of fun for a little bit, and it's really gotten old.
All right, that's fair. So it is just a matter of there's really no place on earth anyone could lead you that they wouldn't know your name.
Yeah.
That rules. Which brings us back to Palmier.
Yes. So the question was, how did I lead you back into the light?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Or when?
When? Fuck it. Last night. The last night when we stayed up until the sun rose. I think Gustav was experiencing doubts about their goal and their mission. Because I feel like since their firefly is oracular, and essentially the perspectives and I guess in a sense the visions, am I right in that understanding of oracular?
I think it is mostly just tied to fortune telling. I need to look back at the definition.
It's like an oracle.
Yeah, relating to an oracle. So I think that can play out any number of ways.
We're going to talk about more what oracular exactly means in a moment.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
I think that it put doubt in Gustav's mind whether or not he should be responsible for attending to and caring for something that could be so impactful on the world. And I think that, like, over hours of conversation, of literally just getting lost and talking about random stuff, I think it's like one of those things where it's like at the end of when the sun's rising, and Palmier just kind of like looks at Gustav and kind of claps him on the shoulder and goes, "They chose you. That's how you know."
I absolutely adore this. Like, thinking of Gustav as a character, I think Gustav historically has kind of been of the opinion of most of my life is behind me. You know, I carry around these fragments of candles that can't even be lit anymore from the lover that I used to have. And, you know, I know that I'm never enough. But we had like this long and winding conversation last night, as we've had long and winding conversations like throughout our travels together. And like, I think we hit like this moment where Gustav, you know, has to realize that he's still alive.
Can I ask another question though?
Yes.
And you don't have to answer it, but I want you to think about this question.
It's a thinker.
Are you in love with
Yeah,
Palmier?
absolutely. Absolutely. It's not even a question.
Yes. Good.
That was implied. Yeah. Clearly, as the sun rose, Gustav realized that he was in love with Palmier, and like so many dominoes get to fall into place now. There are
Yes.
love stories that get to coincide with one another. All right, I am ready to learn more about oracular. So take us away, Adira. Spin us a yarn.
So a bunch of people have a bunch of little friends, right? And they have little traits that are those little italics, oracular, or
I have raucous.
Yeah, raucous, or
Dramatic and glamorous.
sturdy, witchy. Yeah. So all of those have things they can do that they give to those little friends. In the PDF that we have as the podcast play kit, there's a list of 36 traits, each of which say a number of little things that all of your little friends can do. If you could go in there, scroll through all of those traits to the ones that you might have for a friend and pick one or two things that they can always do, we can talk about what all of our friends can do really quick. As the Vagabond, I have exactly one friend who is Atari, and we've already talked about what they can do. So I could just sort of fill time while you all look at things and think about stuff.
I would love
unless
to go
people are ready.
last.
Yeah,
You've got a lot.
Yeah. Sender has 5, maybe 6 friends. You've got a lot of friends.
Very popular man, popular woman.
Yeah.
I can go because I only have one.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I have my where is it? Here we are. I have my funny and raucous gang of hyenas who consider me family.
Mhm.
So my choices, I could choose one to two that they can always do. Find the fun in a dull task, get lost in the excitement, and or know exactly where a better party is. So obviously they know exactly where a better party is. And the other one I'm picking is because it feels appropriate for a funny and raucous gang and of hyenas to get lost in the excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. I want to party with the hyenas.
Oh yeah. Hyena party, hyena party, hyena party.
Well, I think they're respectful enough and they know that I can only get juice, but they are a partying.
Hyena gang, hyena gang.
B, does Atari have any kith that you need to pick traits for?
Absolutely none. I'm everybody's friend. Do you want to go play with me?
Yes.
Can I show you something? Found it on the ground. It might be garbage, might be a friend.
Have you poked it yet?
Absolutely, with the poking stick.
Oh, you know, at least one or two of the hyenas, it like goes for it every time.
Stop, don't eat it.
Splendid. So James, have you figured out some of the traits for Larry yet?
Yes, I have. Larry has oracular, as we've mentioned before, and one of the choices for that was say I told you so, which rules. It's just great. Can't wait to unleash that on everyone. And Larry's other trait was adventurous, and they can always have circumstances improbably work out for you. So I am going to go with that because that's also great.
That's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
Just about. I got a lot of
I mean, you
friends.
got a lot.
So
Go
I have
Yeah.
I have a quick question, and maybe this
Sure.
is a Dira one or it's a James one. Is only Gustav able to talk to the light, or is light able to talk to other people?
Larry, the Firefly?
Yeah, Larry. Yeah,
yeah.
Firefly.
Because I've got two things. There's Larry, and then there's Wisp.
Ooh, true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, anybody can talk to Larry. I like. My impression is that like anytime there's a circumstance where we're in need, Gustav goes, well, I know a guy for that. And that guy is invariably Larry. And I think the thing that everyone can hear from Larry is I told you so. And Larry will communicate with you in other ways, but only through your dreams. So you will realize what your dream meant right after Larry says, I told you so, which, you know, we can debate about how useful his oracular tendencies are. But that's the case.
All right. I am now ready.
All right, let's hear about the Caretakers, little buddies.
So, Dulcet, my god of tiny melodies, is dramatic and glamorous. They can put on a big show with heightened emotions and histrionics, and they can also tell someone to look at them, and if you want to look away when they say that, you need to spend a token.
Oh.
Guile, a breeze god. Guile is watchful and oracular. He can point out something that people missed, but also tell people the bad news about what their future holds. And if you want to defy that news, you have to spend a token.
I'll defy that news. I know the future better.
That's fair. Nader, a god of a single shadow, has it because she is invisible, has the ability to have been somewhere the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Talk, a chalk god. They are sturdy, or they are venerable, which means that is that right? Hold on. I need to confirm which one that I chose. Yes, they are venerable, which means that they can offer something that hasn't been seen in a very long time. I can draw something in the chalk and unearth something that is unseen. And Wick, a candle god, is luminescent and can non-verbally ask what is true about you that you keep from everyone. And if you want to not answer, you need to spend a token.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. That's wonderful. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we've determined a whole bunch of kits. Now let's figure out where we are. So in Wanderhome, you build the place that you're in by taking a bunch of natures and putting them all together. We have access to 18 natures. That are a number of cool things like farm and monastery and field and island and lagoon. And contrary to this game being called No Dice, No Masters, does somebody have some D6 nearby them?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
Trusty dice. Wow. Do we all? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, what gamers with dice?
You did say pro gamers, correct?
Yeah.
I have this All My Fantasy Children dice box that I can pull some dice from.
Very nice.
I have a hook for a wall.
Oh, wow. I think
I got
you're
some
winning.
good colors.
Ooh, those look edible. I want to eat them.
And I
Dang.
specifically,
James, I would also like to eat that.
I've unearthed my insane clown posse dice.
That's a thing.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
MMFCL, y'all.
Quick thought while we're on the topic of ICP.
Sure.
So is there a term for reverse milkshake ducking because I feel like Violent J has done that.
And it's true. It's true.
Like, I didn't know he could pull off the technique of the reverse milkshake duck, but Violent J has done that.
Just
Apparently, this is a Juggalo appreciation stream.
proud furry papa out here, just supporting his daughter.
Proud furry papa has like acknowledged that he looked back at his old homophobic content, was like, I was stupid, and you should know that your dad was stupid. Like,
all right, so back to natures. Thank you for the aside on Juggalos.
anytime.
I need somebody to roll me a d3 and then a d6.
Okay.
I'm gonna need 3 of those, I think. Yeah, 3.
Who do you want to roll?
How about 1 from B, 1 from Jeff, and 1 from you? So screw James, I guess.
All right.
All right, so I'm rolling a d6.
A d3 and a d6.
Oh.
All right,
So
where's my
that is-
caltrops?
That is double sixes. So that is a 3-6.
I'll just.
All right, that means we've got a tower. All right.
This will go unused.
Ooh.
So disappointing. Okay, James, just roll. Just go for
I've
it.
got a 3 and a 3.
3 and a 3, a lake, and what have you got, B?
We're gonna let James roll.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't want to steal the whole thing. Let's split it.
He
I'll
needs
roll.
this.
I'll
James
roll
needs
the
this.
d6. You roll the d3. I've got a 3 for the
Okay.
d6.
B, what's your d3 roll?
Oh, it was a 2.
2. So a hallow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
a tower lake hallow. So let's start by reading out what a hallow is. A hallow is a sacred place where gods and mortals mingle. When you arrive at this place, decide a rule that all must follow. Now, these places, if you're familiar with belonging outside belonging system, we're effectively building a modular setting element
Mhm.
that will be our place that any of us can do the moves from. But we don't have moves, so it's just the things that this setting can always do. We don't have to worry about moves for settings; they just always do things. So in a hallow, you can always describe the gods that live here and their mystery, offer someone the chance to break this place's rules to make their life easier, and give someone a token when they bend over backwards to respect this place's rules.
Ah, I like that.
Hallows will also have some aesthetic elements and a folklore. Every nature is going to give us some aesthetic elements and some folklore. I'm going to explain towers and lakes, and then we could pick some aesthetic elements and folklore. Maybe each of us sort of split up some of the natures. Yeah. So a tower is anywhere that reaches up so high into the sky that it feels like it scrapes against the clouds. Towers can always describe something very small and far away, spread concern around structural stability, and make someone dizzy or disoriented and give them a token. And then lakes. A lake is a vast body of water that spans an overwhelming distance. This place can always describe the beauty of the water, wash something strange up on the shore, bring someone somewhere completely unexpected, and give them a token. So those are all of the different things and stuff that describes this place together, which we're now going to collaboratively build. We've got a number of aesthetic elements, and do people have some thoughts?
Well, I had a pitch for the rule that we have to deal with in
Ooh.
the Hallow.
Yes.
I like ask no questions and it will tell you no lies. So basically every time we ask a question, I like the idea that this place can like bust out a lie for us to encounter. Like
Yeah.
that might get a little overcomplicated, like drinking game style, because we're gonna, haphazardly ask questions, but like it could be really fun and cool also. So I don't know.
What do people think?
I love the idea. I mean, I'm playing a baby skunk. You know, I'm gonna be asking all kinds of questions. So
I do like that. I do like that a lot.
I also get this image of like priests or monks that refuse to ask, who only give answers. They refuse to ask anything.
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, we're going to talk pretty soon about the sort of people that live here. So that's a good thing to think about.
How about for the aesthetic elements?
Ooh. Yeah, actually, James, do you mind writing that rule for us really quick in our Zoom chat?
Oh,
That way we can all remember.
I
Cool.
will do that post haste.
Awesome. And then, Steve, you're talking about aesthetic elements.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hold on. So the options here are a well-tended shrine, a worn-away mask, watchful eyes in the shadows, an unexplainable miracle, forgotten offerings, an old caretaker priest, and something else of your own invention. So I really want to go with the old caretaker priest because I still want to lean on that idea of the priest who refuses to ask questions; they only give answers.
I like it. I like it.
And I think an unexplainable miracle.
Yeah. Unexplainable miracles are fun. I like unexplainable miracles. What do you think about this miracle? Tell me about it.
Actually, B, what do you think this unexplainable miracle was?
Give me a little bit more context so I can formulate something based off of that. I mean, we've got a lot of death around you. Is because I kind of caught the idea that you died at some point.
Yes. You don't know that. Only Sender does. But yes.
Have you been in the presence of something else that's resurrected before?
I don't know.
I would love to roll with that a little bit, if I may.
Oh, please.
Yeah. And grab some folklore from the tower.
Ooh.
Which is the ghost that walks the stairs. I like the idea. What if this priest or this monk or this this person that is here, right? This old person that they're this person that tells no answers is high, like they're walking the stairs is a lie because they are not alive.
Ooh.
Like this place tells lies, and one of those lies is that the people that are here are alive. Like we see them walking, right? Like we are interacting with them, but their very presence here belies the fact that they are beneath the ground.
Okay. Thinking also about the folklore for the Hallow, we have the 15 sleeping gods as an option. So what if there are so it's a hallowed tower in a lake. So that's sort of how I picture it. It's like a big body of water with a cool pointy thing sticking out of it, and people are in the pointy thing. What if there are 15 sleeping gods? People say sleeping in and amongst around the lake. That's what creates this beautiful Hallow.
I love it.
Very good.
I'm very spooked by it, and I believe all stories, but I also know everything, so it's fine. I'm not afraid. My fur isn't poofed up for any reason.
James, do you want to look at the aesthetic elements from the tower and pick two of those?
Let's see here. I'm just trying to pull. Oh boy. I must be closing in on it. I'm definitely.
There's no page numbers.
Yeah, not in our copy.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But that's why we should mention that the Kickstarter for this game that we're playing, that if you are enjoying, ooh goodness, do you want to get in on this Kickstarter? It's going on now, and it has hit so many stretch goals that have added like so many new and wonderful, talented designers to the project. You should go out and back this Kickstarter because you'll get your page numbers.
Wait.
And
I'm reversed. Hold on, that way.
Okay, I have found the tower. Okay.
We'll find out in a minute.
So I get to choose two aesthetic elements from this list. And do we want me to read the whole list or just what
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
picking?
Read the whole
Okay.
list and pick 2.
Yeah, so we've got a narrow, barely stable entrance, a winding staircase all the way to the top, a shining light, warning of danger, roosting moths in the rafters, not enough space for everything packed in, a lonely soul responsible for keeping everything in working order, and something else of your own invention. Okay. I am definitely going to go with the winding staircase all the way to the top.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to dovetail this with something else of my own invention. I think this tower looks like a lightning bolt, meaning that it is built at impossible jutting angles. And this winding staircase, like the tower is also very huge and very thick. The winding staircase sometimes goes up and sometimes goes down, but inevitably heads towards the top. So like it is almost Escher painting in there, except like the towers itself, its structure is not physically possible. But the staircase within the tower is physically possible. It just moves up and down in ways that are incomprehensible. And like there are many, many rooms and whatnot that things can stop in, that you can like stop in and move by. And I feel like a decent portion of this tower is inhabited. Like, you know, like the first like couple levels are like pretty easy to get to. So people like put homes and businesses in there.
Yeah. Nice.
Valid.
Mm-hmm. And then B, how about you give us some aesthetic elements from the lake?
Aesthetic elements for a market, farm, market, workshop, tower, monastery, glen, field, hollow, swamp. Wow, where is it? Lake. There were a lot of options. I didn't think that I was going to be scrolling for that much.
B, I'm the same way. I was so confident I would be able to pull it right up, and it took me a while.
There was a lot of content.
Yeah. This is only half of the natures, and that's not even including the 20 bonus natures that also got funded from the Kickstarter.
Dang, y'all. I have been posting the Kickstarter link in chat, so please do check it out, give it a back, because this is wonderful.
There's so much good stuff in this game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, some aesthetic elements. I love a good barnacle covered rock. I don't know what a barnacle is, but I love it.
Barnacles are little pokey animals, and they stick to things.
Like an urchin?
Yeah, kind of.
What is this?
I cannot believe I get to witness a moment where somebody learns that barnacles exist. They're a very weird creature to know exists now.
Oh my goodness. I don't like them.
I actually, in this moment, also have to Google barnacle.
Oh, please.
I only know that.
SpongeBob? Barnacles.
I know them only because I have seen them drawn on The Simpsons. I've never actually seen one that is not a cartoon.
Amazing.
That's weird looking.
It's not okay.
James, I'm loving this idea that like there are people right now in this stream who who listen to the Campaign Skyjacks, and during everything involving the Scamolic or the air barnacles, they had no idea what was going on. They're like, I guess we're just scraping things off a ship.
Yeah. Barnacles have a historically negative connotation because a big part of ship maintenance is scraping them off of the hull of your ship, because they'll just attach to the hull, and if enough of them attach, they can weigh down a ship or make it hard to steer.
Dang.
It's really, really neat.
You're making me love them again.
That's
why barnacles are neat.
That's why I know about them, is because the sea captain on The Simpsons hates barnacles. He references at least once, but I could probably more.
Dang. We need barnacles. Yeah.
What's another aesthetic element you're thinking of, B? Do you want to read out the rest of them?
Oh, I will. Yes, we've got huge churning waves, sandy coastline, which is beautiful, flotsam and jetsam, striders darting across the surface, which are those bugs?
Water striders. They're little bugs. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Little big. They're bugs. They're cool.
Yeah, with like little
Yeah.
wide legs. So
You
they can
fought them
stand.
in Mario 64, probably.
Okay, yeah, that's probably why I know them. We have a nearby vessel you weren't expecting to see, and something of my own invention. Honestly, because we're considering aesthetics, I don't want to interject anything more into our already kind of incredibly complicated potential storyline. So I think it's just this beautiful sandy coastline with
Nice.
with like outcroppings of rocks with just like massive amounts of barnacles covering them, and that's just like the natural coastline that we see with our lake.
Nice. That's a good lake coastline.
Yeah.
And then
Creepy.
the second to last thing we need to figure out about this place is a lake folklore. We've got the kraken from the deep, the salmon with 3 wishes, the hubris of the warthog captain, or something else of your own invention.
I want a salmon.
Yeah. So there's a story about a salmon with 3 wishes. Is the thought that if you catch the fish, it will grant you the wishes, or is the thought that the fish made the 3 wishes?
I want some wish-giving locks. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, there's a fish.
Salmon is living. It's not Lux.
What
Yet.
what if it's not catching the fish traditionally? What if it's like catching the fish in a lie or something like that?
Or like you gotta beat the fish at a game.
Yes,
You have to
do.
seduce a fish?
Oh.
this fish will not fuck.
You gotta
It will give you
Famously.
wishes if you
can pull it off, if you and the fish really hit it off and make a connection, the fish will give you 3 wishes.
Yeah.
Fish is very sexual. Please respect that.
You gotta.
No,
you
the
have to
fish
beat
is not asexual. That's the thing.
You gotta beat the fish in Street Fighter. It's really specific.
With a specific combo, though.
You gotta know your planks. You gotta know your 1-2 frame links.
You got.
Awesome. It sounds like we've got a lot of stories about this fish, which is good.
Yep.
It's a folklore.
Some are
It's
true, some aren't. Yeah, we don't know.
exactly. Yeah. So we've got a pretty good idea what this place is like. So we're each going to go around and say one common type of animal folk that live in the area. This doesn't mean that everyone in this place is, for example, a salamander. It just means that if we're in a hurry, we can quickly imagine some new friends. So I think in this place, there are a bunch of gull folk.
A bunch of what?
Gull folk, like seagull people.
Love it. Absolutely
Love it.
love these catty motherfuckers. Oh, yes.
Do they eat the garbage that I often want? Like I go to find a French fry on the ground, and next thing a gull is just like in there swiping it from me.
I saw it first.
Just
All I can think of is, was it Finding Nemo? Mine.
Mine.
Amazing. All right, B, what are some more animal folk?
I just finished running a game of Root. So I'm super into like some woodland denizens. Because we already have a raccoon, can we have possums?
Yeah.
And they just always have their mouths open like they're screaming, but no sound comes out. Thank you, Tara.
You're welcome.
Beautiful demonstration.
Jeff?
I'm gonna go with. I feel like we have gotta have some frogs, right? Gotta have
Yeah.
frogs.
Yeah.
You need frogs.
Gotta have frogs.
Jeff, can they be the type of frogs that like burrow into the mud?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. 100%. That's like. I just want. I think there's just a lot of different frogs. They're just like they're all different kinds. It's good.
Every frog in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of.
Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head.
I think what you have to worry about is the tales say when all the frogs bury under the mud at once.
Ooh. Steve?
So I'm actually at a dilemma right now between 2 different species because one, since we're near water, I think otters are always awesome, but we also have a lot of mammals going on, and I think salamanders would be really cool too.
Yeah.
So I want to put that to the table.
I like salamanders. Screw
Okay,
mammals.
Can I yes and the salamander and say hellbenders?
What?
What are
I am
Hellbenders?
not familiar.
Hellbenders are a type of salamander native to Pennsylvania that grow just enormous, like 6 feet. They're so huge, and because
Oh
we're
Googling more
this thing's
animals.
dope.
because we're animals, like we're at a scale that is animal size. That means like these hellbenders can be just truly enormous within
Oh
our
my
world.
gosh. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Dope.
cool.
That's
I
real good.
like that we're gonna have Hellbender people.
Yeah, yeah. I want some like 15 feet tall hellbender.
Yeah.
folks.
I want to touch one, but I don't.
Just ask.
May I please? Just
If they
poke.
consent to being touched, then there you go.
Mhm.
Only with my poking stick. Very specific. And if it's consensual on both ends, good old poking stick.
It's nice. All right,
Chat hates the Hellbenders.
That also
Oh.
loves the hellbenders.
So apparently Hellbenders are an option for the veteran.
Yeah, the veteran's another one of the very cool
cool.
playbooks. Yeah, the veteran, you have a sword and you don't draw it ever.
Oh my god, that's so edgy and I love it.
Yeah. Hellbenders are cool. So we want one more type of animal folk. James and Steve, since you sort of came up with one together, if you want to do another one together, go right ahead.
All right, Steve. I'll lead on this one.
I'll figure out how to yes and you.
Snails.
Ugh. I got nothing. I was not prepared for snails.
Oh my god, I want to live in their homes. They just like leave them around every now and then and like
I think these are snails that grow shells that grow into the shape of homes, and they molt. And after they molt, creatures can settle and live in those homes. They're kind of like free prefab like homes. And that's why there is no homelessness in this region of the world, because there are literally like creature people that grow homes and just leave them be.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Works for me. Glad I could help.
Steve, you really pulled that one together.
What would you do without me?
Let's
He
speed
truly
run
is the
stuff.
glue. Awesome. So,
I'll find a way to clip through one of the shells.
We have now made the place that we are going to be. And it is now about ready to start playing after about an hour and a half of fun world building and character creation and all of that stuff. We are going to start in a month that I'm looking up. I forget which
And quick-
month.
Quick check with folks. So we had the gull people, we had the snails, we have the hellbenders. We're missing two other ones that I forgot.
Frogs.
Frogs
Mm-hmm.
and possums.
Okay, cool.
I'm like, I think I suggested something, but I already forgot.
I put them in our Zoom chat just so that we don't lose it.
Thank
Thank
you.
What month do we start in Tillsoil?
Oh, the months have non-month names.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Someone in the
Well,
chat
here-
said till soil.
Good. All right,
Actually, so did Jay.
Jay has also confirmed tail soil.
Awesome. So it is Tillsoil.
But also that
and-
months don't matter in a one shot, apparently.
I know they don't, but it's a fun name.
They're important to Adira, and we all respect that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're about to embark and talk about this. We have a number of little questions we have to build our journey together and talk about things. But before that, let's talk about some journeying tools. So safety is important. Even in games that are cute and cuddly, things can also get very deep, such as god killing and all sorts of things. So we have a number of tools available to us for journeying tools that are just baked in to the game to give us nice safety things. You can always say, let's do this instead. Do we want to? Where to next? What do you think? Hold on, no, or just walk away. All of these journeying tools assume that the game is healthy and productive for you. So if for some reason any of the 5 of us is having an issue, leave, please. I appreciate you. Yeah. So the journeying tools are described more in depth on the 3rd page in our little PDF that we have. But basically, they just sort of empower us and give us a shared sort of framework to make sure that all of these stories that we're going to tell are told in a way that's good for all of us. Yeah, nice.
I love that. That's magic. This is good. I like this. I feel
Yeah.
good.
Absolutely.
Dream tools are fun. So some first steps. All right. So we are going to answer 3 questions together, and then 1 question silently in your head. The 3 questions are: what sort of place did we just travel from? Do we feel our journey has been long? And is there somewhere we hope to go? And then after you've answered those 3 questions, each of us should silently answer, will I someday find a home?
Oh,
So what sort of place did we just travel from?
I like the idea of coming from somewhere hot.
Hmm.
You know, this area feels kind of swampy to me, so maybe it's a relief to have like the moisture around.
Yeah,
I
I like
like
it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mostly look forward not to having my fur matted to me, you know?
Yeah.
It's a certain kind of heat that's just like, ugh, everything sticks.
Now, yeah, this is a humid place, probably. Does who
more of my
has
fur
fun
sticking.
hair problems when it's humid? Because Gustav definitely does. He looks
Well-
ridiculous.
What's the weather like during Till Soil?
Till soil is it's kind of wintry.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's the first month of leap. It's sort of the end of like winter, sort of almost beginning of spring. It's when it's time to unthaw the ground and plant crops.
So maybe not too like maybe it's not so humid that like your fur is gonna be super matted, Atari. But you
Okay.
know, like if we stuck around for another month, you're like, oh, this is when the bad heat happens.
Well,
Mm.
especially
Looks
because
like
the
a
next
wet
month is
rat.
called monsoon.
No, thank you.
It's gonna get rough. It's gonna
This is
get
not
rough.
a cool place to be during monsoon, maybe.
I don't understand
Yeah.
what's wrong with monsoon.
In a swamp? I know everything, so I know that's bad.
Nailing it.
Yeah.
So maybe it sounds like we came from maybe a desert, but like during like while it was still winter-y ish. So like it was warm and hot, but not like insufferably hot.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, like thinking of it being a desert, I like the idea of it being like the most extra thing. So it's like a volcanic desert, but this is not a thing that can happen on our Earth. But maybe there are also cryovolcanoes in there, which are essentially like snow volcanoes. So like snow just kind of erupts from the ground there. So like, yeah, we get to put away our like hot snow boots and put on our galoshes in this new cool place.
My galoshes are yellow and they're really cute.
Shout out to Mendez for teaching me about cryovolcanoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mendez.
It's real good.
I just learned something new.
Just assumed volcanoes were fake. Ben, do we feel our journey has been long? Like, has it been a long time coming here? Like, have we been traveling together long? What's that?
I feel like I've been here forever. My concept of time might be stunted.
How old are you?
I don't know. How old are you?
Ooh.
Coming at me with
Touche-
questions?
Touche.
Yeah, fair. I think my age is something equivalent to like we'll say mid-20s.
I don't know how to equate that to animal life.
I mean fantasy world. So
2 years old.
A
It's super
snake wearing a
tragic.
hat. It's okay.
yeah. I'd say emotional developmentally, I'm like in that mid-20s range.
There
Cool.
you go. That's probably the best way to frame it.
That also helped me understand like what level of kid you are.
Gosh. So I'm an only child, so I have like a very poor concept of like actual children.
Same.
So like what I believe kids are at 9, like I just
Okay.
avoid them generally, but like maybe Jeff can weigh in. You have actual experience with children. I think you've reared a couple of your own.
Are you asking Sender this or Jeff this? 'Cause
That
those
was
are
a
two-
Jeff question.
Oh, okay, 'cause those are two very. I feel like Sender has experience like taking care of children. Jeff,
I don't ask Sender questions. You know this. I don't want Sender's advice.
You're asking Jeff questions that Jeff does not have good answers for.
That is okay. Let's just go with like.
I have an idea of what a 9-year-old is like.
Yeah.
I think that like works.
Okay.
I used to be a child therapist, so I've got a perfect like this is what a 9-year-old looks like to me.
Yeah, I used to teach chess to elementary school kids, so that's where my reference frame's coming from. Yeah.
I don't even like. I'm never around. I don't leave my house, so like I'm not around children.
I've never seen a child before, so I'm just
Honestly,
gonna
no.
Google
Can I
that
Google
real
this?
quick.
I actually question whether children exist.
Yeah.
They make small people? Okay.
Unbelievable.
I feel like we've been traveling. Have we been traveling for a long time?
Yeah.
I do like the. Here's my pitch, if I may AMFC you all and say I have a pitch.
Sure.
I like the idea that and B, if you're feeling differently, like feel free to pitch in, but I almost feel like that answer of like that you don't know and that like this is kind of all you know. I like the idea that like maybe this is kind of all Atari knows because like that's kind of how long we've been like
Oh my gosh.
out there together. Like we've watched Atari grow from like a toddler to like a 9-year-old. So it's been a while.
No wonder
love
Ezzy your
that.
mom.
Yeah.
Snake Mom.
With a fabulous hat.
It's the qualification to be a mom.
Fine. It's a fine hat. It's fine.
Do you have a hat? No, you're not a mom then. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I'm not happy with it. And you know what I'm not happy about is that I can't debate it. I'm going for a walk.
All right. Is there somewhere we hope to go?
Existentially? No. No.
I feel like Gustav's life has been one long journey that has no destination, especially being someone who like kind of lights the way. Gustav has probably passed from group to group in this role for a long time. So like Gustav's journey is not necessarily this group's journey, but this group's journey is part of Gustav's journey. Which I think Gustav probably then thinks of himself as very directionless. In like, does he have a place to go? It's like, I guess I'm not going anywhere. I travel with cool people.
That's fascinating to me because my answer for Sender is the exact same, which is to say, like, Sender has no destination. She also drifts from group to group. Like, she travels, from place to place from group of people to group of people. But it's interesting to me that you said that makes Gustav feel directionless because Sender feels the exact opposite. Sender has like a really specific, like driven purpose, which is when I am done with this group, when I have fulfilled my purpose, I will walk until I find the next group that needs a Sender. And so Sender always has a place that she is going, but like is not walking with any direction, but feels the exact opposite of directionless.
So I have a pitch, if I may borrow from Jeff.
Let's AMFC this one.
Yeah. So I think because we definitely have a lot of people who it's like, well, I'm just traveling because I don't really have a place that I think I'm going. But I feel like because we have Atari and we've had this child growing up with us, we've had to give some type of explanation like, oh, well, we're journeying to this place that may or may not exist.
I really like that.
So I
quote
think
Thanos Saez. I fuck with this.
Yeah. So I like this idea that like what we may have communicated to Atari is unfortunately is a gentle fabrication for not explaining we're just wandering vagabonds.
Oh my goodness.
So like, oh well, eventually we're journeying to the Mountain of Nine Blessings or something like that. But really, for the adults in this party, it's been we wander until we probably won't wander.
What if the Mountain of Nine Blessings is kind of like things that a person is supposed to experience in their life? Like when you get buried, like your friends speak over your funeral, the 9 blessings of your life. And like they go through that. So traveling to the Mountain of Nine Blessings is we're walking until we die.
It's proverbial for us, but Atari believes it's real.
Yeah.
I don't know any better. That
Wow.
sounds so cool.
It's
I
very
love
sweet.
this. All hurts my heart a lot.
Now we have the next question that we all answer silently. Let's all take a moment to think about if will I someday find a home?
And is this from the character's perspective or the player's
Yeah,
perspective?
the
thinking about
character.
Okay.
Okay, I have my answer.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
sad.
I got an answer.
Mine's not sad.
Mine's not sad at all. Mine's incredibly happy.
Mine's only sad if you believe Gustav.
Awesome. So we all arrive at the tower. Jutting out from this massive body of water, we walk along the beautiful sandy beach, passing by all of these barnacled rocks. Looking out, we see this massive, jagged lightning bolt shape of the tower, as there are a number of people puttering about in the water in boats, talking. People at the base of the tower, it looks like living their lives, and probably some friendly folk hanging about on the shore, maybe having a picnic.
Oh, love that. Yeah, I'd like to pitch that we've got a turtle frog fishing, which if you don't know what a turtle frog is, do yourself a favor and Google it because they look like hulking himbos of the frog world. They have tiny little heads and super big arms and shoulders. Again, that's a blessing that I give to you, our audience.
They're so weird. What are little bodies? Oh my goodness.
All I can think about is the video of that frog screaming.
Amazing.
I love them. I love them a lot.
I would be their best friend.
All right. So yeah, we're all walking along.
I don't know what my questions are.
I think let's see. Oh, that's right. I got to think about my moves actually before I.
No,
Well, they're not moves. You just sort of do them.
Right.
So quick question, Adira. So are there particular moves that we as the various players in this GM-ful game get to make on behalf of the setting, or do we just start offering things up as we go?
So we can just offer things up as we go. There are no like specific moves. All of the natures have things they can always do, which we laid out, and I can copy and paste them over into our chat.
That would be great.
Such as you could do that, or you could do any of these things.
I mean, I can tell you that I get distracted because look at that frog. Look at that frog. I need to know about What do they eat? How do they get that buff? Can I follow their regimen? How many acorns do they eat?
So you're gonna go over and bug the frog?
Mm-hmm.
Does somebody want to play this frog?
I'll do it.
All right.
So this is a buff frog that you said?
Yeah.
They
bug
What do
frog.
we
they
call
have
it? Like
very
a
tiny heads and
battle
very
frog?
big bodies.
So kind of like one of
Yeah,
these,
like
no,
a buff
no
frog.
neck, all muscle.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
so a
Yes.
battle toad is what you're describing.
Heck yeah. It's Wart the Battletoad. Yes.
Yep.
So I think the frog, this big thick frog, is in the process of casting because you said they were fishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they notice you initially because they're very focused on trying to fish.
Excuse me. Hey,
Huh.
hello, hi. I just need to. I have a really quick question. Can I bother you? Just look at you. I mean, look at you.
I think he has to look very down at you because you are so much smaller than his very thick body. Yes.
Can I touch you with my poking stick?
I think he
It's
looks
fine.
around for the associated adult it assumes the child would have.
Nowhere
As
in
he is
sight.
slithering over.
Look
It-
at you. Look at you. Look
Look-
at you.
Look at you.
Oh my God, look at me. Have you seen my little jeans? They have some grass stains.
Those are definitely stained.
It's been a long time since we've seen grass, though. We were in the sand, and then we were in a swamp.
I think the frog glances over at Izzy. This one yours?
Is anyone really anyone's?
Yes.
Even my poking stick, you never gave me consent. I am waiting.
Well,
If
Now-
you
here's the thing. This fine child just wants a tiny little poke. Isn't that just such a small thing to ask?
I guess not. Yeah, it just don't poke hard, I guess.
Yeah, Atari, be nice.
They angle the poking stick very close to your eye. These
Well,
frogs have these
uh,
cute little bulgy eyes, and like their look
I
so
th-
pokeable.
I think there is like an instinctual reflex as it like slowly leans back and it licks its own eye with its tongue because frog.
Mm-hmm.
As he's going to sort of turn and look at Sender and Gustav and Palmier and just sort of go, I have a bad feeling about this, but I'm going to let it play out.
I think Sender has her back turned to like all of you and is just like has kind of set up a little space along the water and like kind of like looks back and is like, oh, this will be fine. It's fine. They are a precocious child. They'll be a precocious child. It's gonna be fine. I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted. I've got things that I need to look after.
I think if you're okay with this, B, I think what interrupts Sender's like explanation to Izzy is just like a deep "ow."
Poked him in the eye. Whoops.
Oh, like those big digits, the big slimy digits, kind of like wrap around its eye for a moment, and just kind of glances down at you with its free eye,
Now,
big buggy eye.
can I ask a question and then have the setting do something?
Yeah.
This question for our frog friend. How were you fishing? Like, what type of fishing were you partaking in?
I think what you noticed is that the free hand that is not currently like holding over his poked eye, that there was a thick amount of fishing line that was wrapped around its digits, but like so to the point that it wasn't that it would like cut off circulation, that it was like such a close wrap that they could grip it. And you see, at least in the water, it seems like there's a direct line out to like the distance of where it must have either chucked something to fish or a weight of some sort. But it seems that this frog would be reeling it in by hand
So I think
because he's big and brawny.
you're clutching the frog is clutching his eye, and just to add to sort of the chaos of the moment, like there is a sizable pull, and the frog goes slightly into the water, and like but using like these phenomenal muscles, like wrestle something, and something strange washes up on the shore, which is like an inky cloud that is in like a net that has been cast out to the water.
Mm.
And they're still clutching an eye, and they're wrestling this inky cloud in a net, and this whole thing is unfolding, and like they are visibly struggling with it because it's clearly something that they need to pull in with both hands,
Mm-hmm.
but one hand is clutching their eyeball because they were just poked with a stick.
I think like there is like I think he completely starts to ignore the group because he's like, I finally caught this one. But there is like a really awkward like trying to attend to the eye while reaching and trying to pull in the net, but occasionally like wincing and like trying to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crow, would you look at the size of that?
I told you I'm busy.
I've seen bigger.
I think Gustav is probably going to try and help. Gustav is going to like just drop everything like all of his packs that he's carrying and move over to the side of like the water where this struggle is taking place and grab hold of the netting that this inky cloud is sort of like struggling against and grab firm hold of that, and I think immediately get flipped into this muddy water.
I think so. Palmier is going to be chilling out by Sender, and just laughs and smiles and goes, "I love a good show."
That's honestly, it is one of my favorite things. Here's the thing. James, real quick, I'm going to say that sounded a lot like you were inconveniencing yourself to help someone else. So
I'm sure happy you noticed.
Yeah, you should get
Yeah.
I'm taking that token.
And I am going to speak my true feelings on a subject, which is, so between you and me, Palmier, I 100% had an awful feeling about that, and obviously it was going to go badly, but sometimes you got to like, take a step back and let it all unfold, because it's frankly too much fun to watch. And like, when they need me, well, I'll step up and, talk to people, but
I
a little
mean,
bit of sitting back and watching is okay.
in like kind of a gentle hushed tone, Palmier chuckles and responds, "Well, Sender, I could have told you from the start that the moment Atari asked, 'Can I poke you with my poking stick?' we already knew how some of this would unfold."
Of course, that's sometimes the best thing that you can do is sit back and watch and enjoy a bit of a show before you get back to work. And I think she kind of like turns and continues like laying out some of her candles and continues to like just look out to the water and like lay things out and take out her notepad and fill out some sketches, and keep kind of just looking out to this watery lake, quietly making notes and like doing quick counts of like different rocks that are covered in barnacles. And she's like, 11, 12.
Gustav, how do you and Wart over here eventually get this inky cloud wrapped up in the netting out of the actual water?
I think like there is a sequence of the netting and like the struggling forms like disappearing beneath the surface of the water and bubbling and then re-emerging in different configurations. Like, at first they're wrestling around it, then it bubbles beneath, and suddenly it's Gustav in the net with the cloud sort of wrestling against Wart, and then we reemerge and Wart's in the net, and like we come back out, and eventually I think sort of thudding onto the planks of like whatever walkway or path Wart was fishing off of. There is this matted, messy tangle of like almost an emaciated looking kangaroo or raccoon, because like normally your friend
Wet
Gustav
raccoons.
looks very portly, but like when you realize beneath all of that fluff and fur, like there's this kind of nightmare being with demon hands beneath that is the true face of a raccoon, like thumps himself up and like pulls, and like because his fur has been matted down with this green gray mud that happens to be in this particular portion, like the only thing that sticks out in the darkness against the glow of Larry the Firefly are the, you know, incredibly white little chomper teeth that Gustav has. As he pulls against this net, and as he does, like the net pops out, and then like the body of Wart pops out, and then everything like piles on top of Gustav, who is now like heaving, breathing, lying back on this walk path.
Ezzy, what are you doing?
As he's just sort of looking at all of this, sort of laughing a little bit to herself, because as he knows something that she's not supposed to know. As he knows the right way to capture these weird inky clouds. And she's gonna do something kind without getting anything in return, and walk over to the edge of the water, and just sort of lean off of the pier and whisper, "Please come up."
Yeah, and that's like, it was this huge struggle, and you do that whisper, and then like everything becomes way too easy, and that's how I get buried in this massive pile.
I like this. I like to add to that image that like Wart, as he's pulling and as Gustav is pulling, you lean over, kind of hiss at the water very quietly to a tone that they can't hear, and then suddenly you kind of see like both of them pull themselves essentially off their own feet and land on their backs with the thing out of the water.
Well, looks like you've all got that all wrapped up. Yeah.
And I think this cloud is now like kind of floating, right? Like it's just kind of hovering in the air very kind of gently. Like it is incredibly kind of docile looking now that you've simply asked it to come up. And I think at that moment, just some sort of like right from behind Ezzy, almost having just like appeared, like transported from where Palmier was to where Ezzy is, like Sender kind of pops from behind, like, can I Ezzy, can I ask it a question? Is that a lot? Like, I just asked it, right?
Why are you asking me? I don't have anything to do with this.
Oh, I thought because you did the, okay, you know, that's fair. That was an assumption on my part. That's fair. I'm just gonna ask it.
Ezzy is lying.
And I'm gonna walk up to this inky cloud, and I'm going to spend this token that I took earlier to reveal something hidden about this person and ask them what it is.
Ooh.
And I'm going to ask this inky cloud, and I'm going to ask the table to answer for this cloud. I only count 13 barnacle-covered rocks. There's supposed to be 2 more, because there's 15. Can you point me to the direction of the other 2?
I think this inky cloud like kind of has like this undulating, wavering appearance. It's part way between like a cloud and a shadow. And it can manifest these little tendrils, and it does one that sort of swirls and points towards the top of the tower. I'll allow everyone else to, you know, who wants to do the other one?
So pointed towards the top of the tower.
Yes.
And then I think it also has a tendril like two of them that come out and start like twisting into a braid, and it just goes under the water.
One above, one below.
Oh, geez. That's gonna be a lot of walking and maybe some swimming.
Palmier like can be heard walking up because of his jewelry.
Mhm.
And he kind of leans over gently to Atari and goes, "Now, are you going to ask that if you can poke it?"
I have been waiting so long. I mean, everybody's been doing a lot of things, so I've
Now,
just been.
Atari, make sure you say please.
I'm sure it's fine.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
The inky cloud turns and looks towards you. It regards you with the void and the abyss.
I feel like, for note, this was me playing a well-meaning prank.
Oh no!
Uh,
It is well-meaning though.
Mhm.
I'm going to say this cloud is watchful. And it's going to look at Atari, and Atari feels it say, "What's that you're hiding?"
My poking stick. I reveal my poking stick. May I poke you with the poking stick? Just like a little, doesn't have to be much. Please?
You can show me so much more.
I can poke you with the poking stick. That's what that means.
I think that's a fair interpretation of that response.
Yeah, sure. You poke it?
Somehow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Atari, you poke it with the poking stick, and from everybody else's actually, yeah, what I think it is, you poke it with the poking stick, and it appears that the cloud has popped like a balloon and sort of zipped around this place, like doing a terrible scream of, "Ah!" That hasn't really happened. But you did ask 2 questions so far in this place. And right now, this place is telling you a lie. So it's sort of like, in a kind of terrible and mean-spirited way, showing you what the results of poking random things and people with poking sticks can be. And it's that they get hurt. And like, this is very terrible to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a question. Does only Atari see this, or do we all see this?
That's what I'm trying to decide, because like the rule that we have is ask no questions and it will tell you no lies. So we could decide that like the illusions are there for everyone, or the illusions are there for the people who asked the questions.
Oh, goodness.
I like the illusions, because it's so it depends. Do we want to play with the concept of certain people seeing things and other people perhaps not believing them? Is that something that we want to engage with?
That's a good question.
Mhm.
I would like to move a little bit away from that, so I'm
Yeah.
thinking it
Yeah.
should be land of a shared illusion.
Let's
I think.
everybody sees the illusions. That
But
Cool.
I think maybe it is one of those things where it can be recognized for being an illusion.
Oh yeah, if you
Ah.
didn't ask the question, then like
We
you
all know
can-
it's an illusion, but Atari doesn't.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I fall
it's-
back in my butt. You hear a little toot. It doesn't smell great. And I am very afraid.
And I think Palmier is right there to help you up while holding his breath. Just like it's okay. Come on.
And what am I supposed to do about that? I just wanted to hang out with friends, and like then they're turning into smoke, and I really just wanted to poke the cloud.
It's okay. The cloud is fine. There.
Are they?
I think
Go for it.
I'm gonna spend a token. I'm going to spend a token to keep someone safe from the difficulties of the world.
Oh.
And Ezzy is going to just sort of slide and wrap around Atari in a loving snake hug, and be like, "Hey, it's okay. This is a place that shows tricks. You know, we when we do tricks, right?"
Yeah.
And as he pulls out,
Palmier.
yeah, and as he also pulls out her deck of cards and shows a number of tricks, it's gonna be okay. We're all
pick a
gonna be
2.
okay.
Do you show me a 2 back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm instantly enthralled.
Cool.
Shifted my attention.
Love that.
I am I'm giving myself a little token here because I am watching a tiny moment of beauty. I'm just going to describe to the table. I think that this is the first moment that Sender has genuinely understood why, like, Ezzy is like a good parent. Like, this is a moment where, like, all the times we've talked about, like, Sender's like, why not me? Like, I'm watching this happening because I think, like, I was so kind of like tickled by the illusion of it all. Like, I watched this illusion happen and I was like kind of taking in just the fact that this whole place exists to like play tricks on people, and I'm like, a whole lake that is a trickster. Like, the wonders never cease. And I see this tiny moment and I'm like, you know, I missed that. And as he was there when Atari needed them, as he was there, and you know what? That's pretty great. That is.
Aww.
It's a pretty great moment.
A snake hug goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. It's like one of those full body hug situations.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Wraps you all the way around. And then the hat at the very end, you just kind of like, you get the hat around the two of you, and it's just nice and cozy.
So I think Palmier is going to stand up, and I think Wart at this point is trying to probably wrangle in the cloud because he was clearly trying to catch it for whatever reason. But Palmier...
if Palmier was standing up, I do want to interject real quick and say that Gustav ran over and said, "Watch your step," and helped you up there, because that's one of my things.
Thank you, Gustav. So, he claps his paws together.
I think I'll mirror that too, because
where to next?
Classic.
Should we perhaps head inside? Maybe have a meal?
I could tell you, I could go for a bath.
Sender, you look like something's on your mind.
Yeah. What are you thinking of? Do you want to hang out?
Yes, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, I'll take a token.
As I flash a handsome smile.
I have a fear and a doubt, and I'm hoping that the collective you can help address it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you need a hand?
Yes, dear friend.
Very much need a hand. Yes.
I got 2.
Huh?
2 are here.
Oh.
See, I want to point out that's real friendship, is that I let you have that. Anyway, my fear and my doubt. It said one above and one below.
Mm-hmm.
But I also asked it a question, which means that it's very possible that it was lying. So, but I also noticed...
Is that how this place works? Oh, interesting.
Well, Atari asked a question and it lied, and we've seen this whole place sort of unravel to sort of accommodate that lie.
I told you so.
Can I ask an out-of-character question?
Yeah.
So... with the setting being ask no questions, tell no, it will tell no lies. That is a lot to deal with, like the constant deception of the place.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to quickly get an idea of what type of questions it is that will bring about this prank or the deception?
I think it's like really big questions, not like do you want to have a glass of water? It's like, okay, it's like where are the rocks is a big question.
Which I like the idea of can I poke you with a poking stick is also a big question. That
It is.
Canonically,
It is.
that is the truth.
It is big questions to the asker, right? Because like
Mhm.
Jory, can I poke you with a poking stick is the most important question in the world.
Yeah.
If
It is.
if Sender were to ask the same question, like it would be meaningless. But like
Well-
to Sender, where are the other two forgotten gods of the 15 gods is like the most important question, which is I think what Sender's like in Sender's long-winded way of like, I'm pretty sure it just lied to me. But based on what we just saw, I'm pretty sure you all saw some variation of the truth.
I just wanted to make sure because, some of us, like, especially on some of our sheets, some of us have like some things you can always do. Might involve asking questions, and we have the journeying tools. So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Sender's question, I think Sender's speaking her true feelings on this of like, I'm pretty like this is really important to me, and I'm pretty sure it just lied to me. Did anyone see anything different that pointed you in the direction of like other places? Because it is important to me that I visit these 15 gods while I am here.
So I have an idea. I think because you were looking for rocks with barnacles, I think you were the only like the illusion was that there is one up at the top of the tower. The reason why we saw the two tendrils braid themselves together and point down to the waters because two of them, the two that are remaining, are under the lake.
Oh.
Interesting. So does anyone explain that to Sender though? Because as he doesn't.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Sender. I didn't see too much too good. Gustav says as he's wiping like the mud that is like hanging down in front of his face to like restore his little mask.
As I rock back and forth on my feet, just kind of dancing idly, I pause. Like I look like I'm pausing and thinking. Go, okay, well, you're looking for two rocks covered in barnacles. Doesn't make sense that one would be at the top of the tower. There were two of those tendrils spiraling together down into the water. It would make sense to me that the lie of this place is that one would be at the top of the tower.
And we can always go under the water, and if we can't find two down there, we can then take a chances at the top of the tower.
Water.
I'd like to go up first. I mean, do you see how Gustav looks after a little dip? I'm good.
Terrifying.
What's that supposed to mean? Is it stylish?
Look at you.
It is very stylish as he lies.
Gustav like puffs up a little bit. He's really living on that compliment. That's gonna last him a couple days at least.
Well, no matter the answer, I suspect that a warm bed and a full meal is probably the best option.
Maybe I'll skip the bath.
No, don't skip the bath.
Gustav, I am your friend, and so I want you to know this is coming from like a dear friend. You are disgusting and need a bath.
All right, that tracks.
Don't listen. Do not, Gustav.
Hey, Sender.
Gustav.
I feel like Sender, you should probably take a token.
All right.
I feel like that was speaking your true feelings on a subject.
Gustav, do you want to hang out? Never mind baths. We don't need baths. We don't need baths. Let's just hang out.
I think I'm gonna go with Sender in this one, and I'm gonna take the bath.
I'm not taking the bath.
That's good. So it sounds like we're all heading over into the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now,
can I quickly propose something?
Mm-hmm.
So we've been going for a couple of hours. Would it be okay if we take a fast break?
Ooh, yes. Yeah.
It's
a bit of a location shift.
Yeah. This feels like a good spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe a few minutes. Go to the bathroom, come back, finish up.
yeah, I will take some time. I'm going to vamp while y'all all do that. And then once you return, we'll have you vamp to cover me, and then we'll get going again.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
Nice. Sounds
Sure
good.
glad.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, no, clearly we'll vamp while Gustav's taking a bath.
Oh, yeah.
So while everyone is heading off to take a bath, I will interject here to say that the game that we're currently playing, Wanderhome, is available on Kickstarter right now. And it's doing quite well for like a indie RPG that is about cute pastoral animals. When I was looking earlier today, it had passed 150,000, which to you, the potential consumer, means some good things. Namely, that they have moved past so many stretch goals that there are new and wonderful people involved with this game, thanks to those stretch goals that were not involved before, which means if you back now for the Kickstarter, you're going to get some really cool new content that is designed by just moving through the lists of people that were added onto this project through Kickstarters. I am just so excited by who is coming on. So if you like anything that we've been doing here, I definitely recommend that you head over to Kickstarter right now and search for Wanderhome so you can back and get a copy for yourself. I did pretty quickly after I found out about Wanderhome launching, and that's because I have played some of Jay Dragon's games before. We're actually going to be featuring one of Jay's games on One Shot the week after next. So we've got next Monday, we're finishing up the King Killer Chronicle episodes, and then the following week we're going to be playing a game called Sleepaway, which is also No Dice No Masters or Belonging Outside Belonging powered game. It is about a summer camp that is like contending with an intergenerational horror. It is a really, really cool game that, I think Wanderhome has a very powerful aesthetic that makes itself very clear and very known through all of the different elements in the various playbooks and moves that you can make. Sleepaway is very much of that same style. So I really recommend that you check out that playthrough because we're going to be doing it with some of my dear friends, people like Molly Ostertag and Noelle Stevenson, Brennan Lee Mulligan, Lola Binkard, and Ben Joseph. Folks that whenever I get to swing through LA, I get to hang out with them. And the last time we played a very good game of Masks. So now we're going to be playing an extremely cool game of Sleepaway. And I had such a good time playing that game. And obviously with a fantastic group of people, you are going to want to hear it. Just like hopefully you're enjoying hearing this get played. So that's for that announcement, but Jeff has returned.
Yes,
so now
I never left. I don't have anywhere to go.
I like that you turned off your screen for a little bit. You pretended.
I grabbed a pillow because I'm sitting in an IKEA chair. I'm sitting in a Herman, and it's not the most comfortable on my lower back. So I've grabbed a pillow. So I only went on to off camera for about 20 seconds, but I've been around.
I really love that deception game. That's choice.
I appreciate that.
Jeff, we're in a vamping space right now, which means
Yes.
I really don't want us to advance the narrative, but I think we can safely talk about the baths that our characters are enjoying right now.
This is true.
Without, putting the other players in a space where they don't know what's going on. I kind of feel like this place pumps fresh water up from the mud. And they'll heat up that water and it still carries a little bit of the smell of the swamp. But they mix that with perfumes and herbs. I keep thinking of the baths from Spirited Away. I just like the idea that they're suctioning up that water and they're basically these little wooden tubs.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm feeling that.
And let's add on I think you can have a meal in these baths.
Oh, for sure. They definitely like serve you up dinner, a bath, some like I feel like it's like a full comfort experience, right? It's dinner, it's a bath, it's a shave and a haircut. It's like whatever you're kind of here for. Like it's kind of a cult, like it's an experience to sort of refresh you, because I think like the tower is sort of, or the whole kind of area is so sort of wet and swampy, and so that and but also like it's kind of isolated, so it is just a place of like, I think there is just like it's a place of comfort, right? Like these baths are like places where people like relax and rest.
Well, the impression that I get from this region is it feels like a very touristy spot, because like you've got these places dedicated to these forgotten gods. You've got like this myth of this fish that like somehow you can get wishes out of it. All of that to me feels like this is a place that like tries to encourage people to come there. So I like the idea that these baths are like a very comforting sort of thing because it's part of a tourist industry.
I love that a lot.
Well, I believe we have a vamping quorum now that will allow me to step away. So I'm going to leave this in the capable hands of everyone else for a short period, but I will return soon with more game.
All right, so it sounded like Adira.
I was gonna say, there's a question in the chat about if Wanderhome is GM-less or can the GM also have a PC. The game is GM agnostic. You can play with a guide who doesn't control any characters beyond the various kith that you meet and the places, the natures of the places. But you can also you can sorry, Grub. Thank you. You can also have what we're doing, which is distributing all of those GMing stuff. Steve earlier said GM full to describe it. Yeah, because we're all sort of picking up and passing this GM role.
So since I think Adira and I kind of walked in on it.
Yeah.
So it sounded like there was a lot of describing of what the bath situation was.
What the bath was like, yeah. And it's water is being pumped up from the lake through the mud. So it's kind of a very clean, steamy kind of almost mineral water bath type experience.
Mm.
And also you're in sort of a wooden tub. There's food, there's comfort. Like it is kind of an entire comfort experience to kind of make you feel at home within the tower.
So then what about, now that we have Atari with us, what about the rest of us? While we've got Gustav off doing the baths, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
I'm not taking a bath.
We were talking about getting some food.
Yeah. I would like some acorns and some garbage.
Nice. What if we end up at a seagull restaurant?
Yeah, that's my favorite. They have the best garbage. The best garbage.
So I had a thought though, because you were describing like the place where the baths are. I feel like maybe one of the we have 15 sleeping gods here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe one of the sleeping gods, because this area has become kind of a place of, in a sense, tourism. I feel like there is a small cult of hospitality here.
That James was describing something similar.
Oh, okay, cool.
The region is a little touristy and a little bit like aggressively making you at home. So like I kind of like that aura of like.
Jeff, move back to your thing.
Yeah, my back in position. I had to.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I get it.
All right. Yeah. So I feel like I like that kind of sense of I like that sense of like there's a whole lot of like making you as comfortable as possible.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like maybe this Gull restaurant is run by that group too.
I'm gonna tell a story as Jeff so that I can introduce a description into the world, and that is I have a very, very deep abiding love of seagulls.
What?
But like a very specific subset of seagulls that I would love to infuse into this restaurant, this place where we're eating, and that is that I grew up I live in Philadelphia. I grew up in South Jersey in the Pine Barrens, where the Jersey Shore like is very close, but not like the sort of North Jersey shore. Like I grew up off of like boardwalks and like Jersey diners. And so
Hmm.
the seagulls of my youth, the seagulls that I am used to are boardwalk seagulls. So I can only picture that this seagull cafe, someone in the chat has mentioned Wildwood, which is where I spent a lot of like beach getaways.
Hmm.
um I really specifically love the picture of like a really like boardwalky fried food kind of like
Mm.
diner experience in
Yes.
sort of this fantasy
Mhm.
landscape, but like boardwalk fries and fried
Like
things.
funnel cakes.
Funnel cake is very
Funnel
important.
cakes are the best. If you drop them on the ground and eat them, they're even better.
That's the food that I'm picturing is really like central to these gulls, because that is the food that I associate with when I see seagulls. French fries, funnel cakes, like pizzas, beach food.
Uh,
I
so
mean, go ahead.
my favorite diner food is this thing called a horseshoe. It's from southern and central Illinois, where it's a piece of bread and a piece of meat covered in fries and covered in cheese sauce.
Oh,
What?
that sounds amazing.
It's really good.
I'm in awe.
Yeah. So
Well, I think if
that
we're
was my
pulling
addition.
from our local cuisines, then the Seagulls, they have a specialty for poutines.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
So
Don't
oh.
do this to me. Oh God, poutine.
Right?
Now we're just full on into a quick poutine discussion, because
Horseshoes and poutine have a similar sort of roots
similar
because it's
Yeah.
the French settler thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we
Mhm.
have a variation. There's a very specific like Jersey variation on poutine where
Oh, no.
it's not. The only
Am I
difference is
going to be
it's
offended?
maybe, very possibly. The only difference is it's not cheese curds, and like it's just cheese, and we call it disco fries.
Mm.
Yes.
And
Okay.
a deep love of the disco fry, because
That's fair.
I grew up in disco fry country.
So
Sure.
we've got disco fries there. We've got poutine there. We've got what was it? The horseshoe at this
Yeah.
at this cult run diner. If I may add, if we're gonna keep adding on to things that have fries in them, we're gonna go with a regional sandwich that's out of Pittsburgh. There's a restaurant called Primanti's. You might see if you've been to Gen Con in downtown. One franchise of there ended up there. But what you have at Primanti's is a gigantic deli sandwich, usually like thick white bread or Italian bread. Your choice, usually it's cold cuts or salami or things like that. And then they put vinegar based coleslaw on that, and they also put a honking amount of French fries on there, and that's your sandwich. And the reason why that was because it was
Amazing.
part of the folks who were working in the steel mills back in the days in Pittsburgh, because they didn't have time on their breaks to really sit down and have a full meal. So one person, from my understanding how it went, because my husband's from Pittsburgh, I've gotten the story a few times. They essentially they slapped it all together in one sandwich, and the folks who were running Permanis were like, "Okay, well, we're just gonna pre-prepare that for the line work for the steel mill folks who come in." And it became such a thing of Pittsburgh and the institution that it is specifically the Permani sandwich.
Which is good. This is a strong union sandwich.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that French fries are central to the Seagull restaurant. Like that feels right to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much variation based on that.
Mhm.
We decided, James, that we were that the rest of us, while you're off at the fancy baths, that one, your idea of this cult is that it actually is a cult to one of the gods here, because it's a god of hospitality. And that we've ended up at a diner that is a gold diner that is also run by this cult, and there's a lot of French fries.
Interesting. And like, so these gods that are inhabiting, these 15 gods, they're like forgotten gods, right? Is the terminology?
They're sleeping. Yeah. Yeah.
Sleeping. This is a place where gods come to sleep.
I
Like
love that.
that's why this is a hospitality region, is like not only do people come here to visit, but like gods either retire or take vacation here.
I dig it.
I love
That's
that
really
a lot.
good. Yeah. Alexa in chat just said God Hotel.
I really do like that. That's like especially folklore here, because we might not be able to prove which gods are here and which ones aren't, but we just know of the rumors of the sleeping 15 gods.
When a god checks in, they check in under different names. So
Uh-huh.
Amazing. So I think do we want to describe this seagull diner? Like when we walk in, I assume there's somebody behind the grill and just going to town on those fries, frying them up.
Mm-hmm.
when you said going to town on those fries, I'm like just eating straight out of a basket of fries.
Probably eating and serving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's one of the
It's not
benefits.
eagle food, right? It's
It's
not
just-
eagle food unless they take a couple bites out of what they're serving to you.
It's just like Red Robin. The fries are free.
Yeah.
I want to
Not
throw out a
familiar with
detail that the way that you order the French fries at this diner are the exact same way that you order potatoes at a Waffle House. Like they have like a specific terminology that like you have to like put the phrase together to like order. Like the French fry dish comes out and there's like a really specific vernacular, and you're like, I want it slabbed. I want it sand. Like you have to like and like if you don't have to get the phrasing right.
Ruffled.
I need it chopped. I need it smashed. And I need it twisted.
Give it
Yeah,
to me
give-
sandpaper, but make sure it's seen the face of God.
Yeah. Give it to me wet, sweet, hot.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's a Chicago thing. Yeah.
Can I get it? Can I get these fries whiz wit? Can I get it whiz wit?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Philly.
Wow. All right. So
I got that.
Thank you.
What fries are we all eating? Describe. Everybody should describe their fries. That's what I want to know. I want to
This
know
is
what
deeply
everybody's fry
important,
dishes
yeah.
look like. Yeah.
I mean, okay, Atari, in my little basket of fries, of which I could probably scoop with both hands and consume in one bite, but I'm not going to do that because I'm better than that, and I have some sense of manners. I understand how it works. I have some regular cut French fries there's like a bunch of cheese curds that squeak when you take a bite out of them, and they're just thrown on to this French fry contraption, and then there is a copious amount of gravy that is poured on top and consumed at super fast speed.
Amazing.
Mine are actually served in a cone.
I have
that,
free
like,
style.
Yeah, that I'm like picking them out of with my beak. Like I'm
Ooh.
sort of picking them out of this like large cone, and amongst them like there's like a cheese sauce drizzled on top. Like there's a sort of circle like gravy has been drizzled on top of them, and it's like various like toppings are kind of like in a swirling pattern put on top of them, and I'm just like grabbing one with my mouth, tossing it backwards, like not quite chewing them because birds don't really chew because they don't have teeth, but just kind of like
I love
It's
it.
great to watch you eat. Do you want to hang out later?
always, every single day.
Okay, thank you. I'll take a token.
Steve, what are Palmier's fries look like?
Palmier's fries, it is a mess. Remember how we were going on about the hash browns at Waffle House? I think it's kind
Yeah.
of one of those situations where, like, I think in this case, Palmier didn't realize what he was ordering. So it is like there's like additional meats, there's sauces, there's vegetables, and it is one of those situations where he has no choice but to eat it with a fork and a knife, because it is unclear where the fries begin and where they end. But the thing is that because it seems that Atari is so distracted by watching Sender eat that occasionally with one of his feet, because monkey, occasionally a foot just occasionally comes up, plucks a single fry, and it disappears back under, and occasionally a hand reaches down and just
Oh, that's good.
because I'm again playing a well-meaning prank.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And I'm gonna say,
squeakiest of
let's see,
cheeses.
between the three of you, I think Mom is the one who notices.
Ezzy?
Ezzy's the one who absolutely notices that I'm doing that.
Yeah. So Ezzy looks up from her fries, which are on a plate. The fries are all sort of really like spread out, and what they are really covered in is a whole bunch of peppers and onions, just spicy and fragrant. A lot of garlic. It's just really good. And Ezzy looks up and sees this tricksy dancer taking fries. I think the next time that you reach out to grab one of these fries, Ezzy is going to have something that she's not supposed to have, which is your dagger from the hyena people.
Oh, jeez.
And she's going to just stab it in the table in front of where your hand was about to be.
Or my foot?
Yeah, your foot, yeah.
I think it's not even, I think in that case, it's not even something I'm prepared for. I mean, one, I don't expect you to have my dagger. But I think it is one of those where I am in the middle of forking a load of my fries into my mouth, and at the same time, the foot's coming up, and then suddenly a dagger chunks into the table, and I almost choke on my mouth full of fries, and stumble and definitely brings attention to myself.
As he says, you dropped that.
Thank you.
I know how much it means to you. I would hate for it to go missing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I slip it into one of my many elaborate silks.
So you've all gotten to describe food, and as Wanderhome is about animals, and I think one of the most pastoral bits of fantasy are the big feast descriptions in Redwall books. I feel like I need to hop in and describe the food that Gustav is getting. I think because you had mentioned that this bathhouse might be a little bit more of an upscale place, I think they specialize in comfort fusion. So what he's getting served is deconstructed twice-baked poutine. So they take a twice-baked potato style, they'll scoop out the insides, mash it up, swirl in cheese curds and gravy, and serve it in a fried potato skin shell. So you get the crunch on the outside, and the inside is like that, smooth, cheesy, sort of spicy mixture.
I'm going to take a token, James, because I'm taking a moment to watch a moment of beauty with it.
It is beautiful. Gosh heck.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I am eyeing it. Big eyes. Like, can I poke it? With my poking stick?
This one's not for poking, sweetheart. This is for eating. And I think this will probably be post bath. So the Gustav that has returned to you is Gustav, most certainly. But it's probably been a while since we've gotten to see Gustav clean. And you know those pictures of horses where the horses of cows, I'm thinking of cows where they've just had the bath and so they come back extra fuzzy.
Yes.
It's that, but it's also a raccoon, which are pretty fuzzy in the first place. So maybe you can barely see Gustav's eyes from behind this massive bit of fuzz. And it makes Gustav's hands like look all the more small and delicate because like he essentially has like these massive fur sleeves now, and you know there's this beautiful golden potato skin that he withdraws, and like you hear that crunch on the outside, and there's that ooze of cheese and gravy coming from within. But like after taking a decadent bite of it, Gustav will like take one of the potato skins and gingerly hand it over to Atari so they get a chance to try.
I'll trade.
There we go. There we go.
Gustav, dear, may I? And I think what Pommier does is they pull out like what looks like an intricate comb.
Okay.
May I?
Gustav blushes, and you know, obviously we have furry faces. What could that possibly mean?
Honey,
but Gustav's voice is like completely caught in his throat. Like he can't speak to say yes, so instead his mouth just hangs like slightly open, and he'll nod bashfully.
And I think a hand gently comes to reach for yours, and Pommier goes, "Will you be my friend?"
Oh man, Gustav again can't speak but only nod.
I will. You get a token. You totally get a token. And like while you're eating, and like as I'm trying to completely distract from the fact that I got caught playing a prank, I began brushing your fur down.
Oh, question. So you got all dolled up in the bath, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does Larry look? Does Larry have a little bow? Does Larry...
Yeah, I have to think about like, okay, they gotta have some sort of treatment for fireflies because this is a swampy area. So fireflies gotta hang out here a lot. What I think they do for you is it's like a little bit of a butt dip that they give you. You dip your little firefly hinder in there, and what comes out like are little sequins that kind of like refract your light a little bit, which is very in fashion for attracting mates right now.
Nice.
I live for the butt dip.
Yeah, everybody wants a butt dip right now.
Yeah. You've played other role-playing games, but they have rules for butt dip? I don't think so.
You come for the pastoral fiction. You stay for the butt dip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not the truth. Oh, goodness.
So we're all eating, and I think I'm going to describe something very small and far away.
Quickly, James, by the way, take a token.
Oh, I have.
Oh, okay, good. Because yeah, if you say yes to my, do you want to be my friend? You get a token.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think very far away. We're looking out on this wonderful boardwalk diner, probably sort of a pier circling a boardwalk circling the base of the tower. We're looking out over the water, shimmering beautiful as the sunlight comes down over the gentle waves. And a little far off in the distance, poking up out of the water, is somebody. It looks like they might be swimming. But you're not sure. They might be swimming. They might be drowning.
Oh no!
I think Gustav is probably gonna lean out and shout, "Do you need a hand?"
There's just a lot of splashing and waving. You're not sure if they're saying hi, if they can hear you.
I think they're waving. Look at that. That's definitely a wave. Yeah, let's a wave.
So
Hi.
this is a question for other people here. How are other people around us reacting to that? Are they panicked? Are they just starting to catch it?
I think other people are like us right now and a bit confused.
So a little bit of a bystander effect going on right now. Of everyone's
Yeah.
looking at everyone
Everybody's
else.
sort of looking around. Yeah.
Then
I'm going to make some bold moves.
Ooh.
Make some brave and heroic decisions.
ooh, love this.
There is like a breeze on the wind, right? Like something blows, and I'm going to Guile in all of Guile's wisdom is going to tell us all the bad news that the future holds, and that is there is a choice to be made here because gods that stay here and sleep here don't sleep here for long. If we wish to see the 15 sleeping gods at this tower, we must go and see them now, and doing something about this person in the water cannot be helped. And I think
what was Guile the god of again?
Guile is a god of the breeze
Ooh.
who tells the bad news about what the future holds. So the future says if we go and help this person, we will not see the 15 gods that are here. And I think I'm going to leave that up in the air. I know Sender's response, but I want to hear what the table says when they hear this from Guile.
I think Gustav looks over to Sender with like very apologetic eyes and like places a hand on Sender's shoulder, like trying to convey without words, like, I know how important it was to you that we see all of these gods, but I can't help but help in this situation.
I'm going to spend a token to immediately allow someone to connect with you on a personal level, and then I'm going to follow it up by saying more with silence than I ever could with words, and simply like, your hand still on my shoulder, I like stand us both up. So like your hand is on my shoulder, I kind of stand up, you stand up with me, and I turn back towards the window, and I look to Ezzy and Atari and Palmier, and I like give a nod, and I nod towards the door.
Yeah. Ezzy sort of like very set in her face, and she says very measured and calmly, "Is there a boat nearby?"
Palmier looks around, like takes in what everyone else is doing and knows what is happening and recognizes that he is not the one best to help here. And he looks to Atari and he gently asks, Atari, dear, will you dance a dance with me?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me for a boat.
No.
I mean, I would have had a boat. Let's be real. They're going to look down at their shoes.
There's
they're
a
going to look back over at your shoes. Do I
that we
have
can-
dancing shoes?
I don't know. Do you have shoes?
Dancing shoes.
No, I'm asking, does your character have shoes?
No.
Here, then, as he pulls out some shoes from
Oh, hell
somewhere
yeah. Mhm.
and hands
you
them
do.
to Atari.
Okay. Thank you. I would love to dance. I mean, I'm a little afraid because
The shoes don't match.
they
Palmier.
don't match.
Palmier takes Tari's hands and leans in and gently says, Dear, there are times when we may not be able to help directly, but there are other ways that we can help. Right now is going to be one of those times. And that is me taking a token for speaking my true feelings on a subject.
Respect.
While they are doing what they need to do for that person out there, there's something that we can do. There's a dance I know. Come, we will go outside. We will perform together. And hopefully we'll bring some luck for them.
And I think as this is happening, I'm going to spend a token. I think I think Sender's already out of the room,
Mhm.
and I think the two of you like dash out and come down. I'm spending a token to provide a solution to an aspect of material or immediate problem. Because Dulcet, a god of tiny melodies, I think you come down and there's like a group of sailors, and they are like horny toads.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm picturing very much like like Frog and Toad, like
Mhm.
like in
Nice,
the
nice.
hats.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
These
dress and the
toads can get it.
Yeah.
and they're just like, and there is, I'm just holding the wind chime, and I look bored with it because I've heard this song many times, and it's just, there are lights and there are sounds and there is a synth playing and no one really knows where the synth is coming from. There is just a full-on Rush drum solo happening. There's some real Neil Peart
Yeah.
action going down.
So can I add to this?
Yes.
So because I have the funny and raucous pack of hyenas that think of me as family, I think they're with us because I have them described as a trait, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could be, yeah, they could be
Yeah.
nearby. Yeah.
I think they're already there, and they've been hooping and hollering and kind of bringing the energy up of this performance that was already conveniently happening out there. So I think that like while what I'm envisioning is like Gustav, Ezzy, and Sender like trying to make their way to go find a boat, I think Atari and Palmier find themselves already there in what is a gigantic performance, like a musical performance already happening, and hyenas and horny toads
Are just
living it
jamming
up.
on this like barge. Like there's like a barge in the dock neck on the side of the lake, and I'm just like, all right, we can wrap this up anytime. We just had to play them a song. We didn't need a second encore. We can just wrap it up.
Since we're adding like synth to the scene, I like the idea that Gustav, in order to help, like grabs his staff, which has this many-faced god inside a glass bulb. So he rushes over with that staff to the water and dips it into the water. And as the staff is dipped into the water, like a glow spreads out from it. That creates like this sort of neon effect down there. And above it, Larry, the firefly, like weaves and zips out over this struggling person and lights up his little butt, which fills the air with like this now shimmering because of that butt dip glow, which perfectly lights the way so that everyone can see this struggling figure as they are trying to help. And of course, the neon lights really blend very well with this rad synth track.
Mm-hmm.
So just so that I can kind of set it up for you all. So basically what is going to happen during this performance is that Palmier is going to lead Atari and guide her. Or guide, what is Atari's? They, them? Sorry about that. That is going to guide them in the dance that is dedicated to many small and forgotten gods. It feels which is appropriate for a place like this where the gods come to sleep, and if they don't wake up soon enough, well, unknown. And so it is one that is energizing. It is one that there's almost I'd say there's an invitation to those who are around them, anyone who is there witnessing it, to take part in this dance. And Palmier knows the movements and is kind of guiding you. And even if you don't get it right, the point is to get caught up in this because you are pulling to the lost and many small and forgotten gods. And as this is performed, this is a dance to earn luck and wisdom. And what I'm going to do is spend the token I had earlier to provide a solution for an immediate problem. And that is that someone is coming back to shore with a boat right now. And they are just getting off that boat right as practically rowing right up next to where Gustav put his staff into the water.
I think as he slithers onto the boat and says thank you to the person who is docking the boat and takes the oars.
And I think tying into the solution from the problem from earlier, like they are too distracted by the music to like notice that you have sailed off with like their boat. Like they come on, they're like, what is happening? And like we see in the foreground like this very like astounded looking sailor as like slightly out of focus in the background is their boat just quietly sailing off.
Oh, I think it's got to be one of the Hellbenders.
Hellbender.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a
15-foot sailor.
yeah, there's like this 15-foot salamander that is just like, where'd my boat go?
I
Cobra took it.
am now picturing the Hellbender head banging, and it's very good because it's got that long neck and that super long torso, and it's just flailing forward.
Is Gustav in the boat with Ezzy?
Yeah, I think so. Like
Mhm.
Gustav had to bend that staff down into the water and then like rushes over to the boat and grabs an oar.
Cool. Yeah. So between the two of us, we do the hard work and get out there to where Larry is, and we see somebody in the water, and it sounds like that they're in danger based off of what the wind was saying. So we reach in and pull out a poor struggling opossum that just got a bit too far out.
Oh my goodness.
Looks up at the two of us and gives Gustav a big hug.
They spit out all the water they swallowed.
Yes.
Yeah. Gustav might need another bath.
Yeah. Just salt water that's been regurgitated there. It's fine.
Let's see. I was considering the idea that Ezzy, nobody has noticed you yet. So I kind of like the idea that like they give Gustav a big hug and then they move to give you a big hug and then all of a sudden their eyes get wide as like they notice who you are.
Oh.
Shit.
And I'm not sure if I want this to, I don't know that I want them to like jump back into the water, but like
It sounds like they might hide behind Gustav.
I would actually love to spend a token if
Sure.
I may.
oh, please do.
Because I have a moment that I think like I was saving this moment. There's like a moment that I've kind of been holding on to this whole game, and it feels right for this.
Ooh.
I'm gonna spend a token, and I'm gonna say what I'm spending it on to then explain the moment to build up a little drama. I'm spending a token to give someone something that has the potential to change someone fundamentally.
Oh my word.
Ooh.
I
That's
think
a
there is
big token.
Right?
know.
You're so casual about this. Like, heck.
I think there's a moment like there's that recognition, and they start to back up, and then like they kind of calm down for a moment, and they're like conflicted because they're like staring real deep at Ezzy. And Ezzy, like you feel something in your pocket that has been placed there at some point, like as you were like running off to the boat, like something was placed in your pocket. And you kind of you look as you look down to like feel what it is, you kind of reach into your pocket and you feel it, and it's just kind of like a flat stone. But you look down and you see something. And you see something that you have not seen in a very, very long time. And you realize that it is part of what is confusing this person and giving at least that moment of doubt. And that is that I have gifted you Nader, the god of a single shadow, who has been with you this entire time.
A shadow? I don't have one of those.
It might not be yours, but you might be able to use it.
Oh. I think as he like clutching the shadow god really tightly, feeling that rock, looks over at the possum and says, "Are you okay? Is there anything else we can do to help you?"
I swear I know you from somewhere. Do I not know you? I swear I swear I know you from somewhere.
Yeah. A lot of people know me from a lot of places. Um, it, you're okay though. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what matters.
Yeah,
We can talk about this later and catch up
yeah,
over
yeah,
on
of
the
course.
boardwalk. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a long day, with the drowning. It's been a long day, so
Yeah. Yeah, let's
you must just have one of those faces. Yeah, can we just go back to the
Gosh, yeah, look at the time. We got to get moving. Gustav is like very happy to start rowing louder than is necessary. Like there's more splash than row. But like
Yeah.
You keep slapping the water with the oars.
eventually we make it back to shore.
So before y'all do that, B, I'm wondering if there's anything for you. Like, what is our experience like right now as like that performance is going or continuing?
That's what I was wondering. Gosh.
So may I do something? I have an
Oh,
idea.
please, yeah, because I've been looking at my moves trying to think like how can I interject some of Atari into this. I'm having a hard time kind of figuring out how they can kind of be themselves in this moment that is absolutely taking them away from everything that they know, and they can't accept that.
Sure.
They're supposed to know everything.
So I think what Palmier does is like we have already stopped dancing, but everyone has continued well past because the energy of what's happening with these performances and because of a very raucous pack of hyenas, the energy here is high. And I think Palmier like puts an arm, if that is okay, puts an arm around Atari and just kind of goes, look, can't you just feel the energy on everyone right now? They might not feel it, they might not recognize it, but this energy is right now is what is calling to the gods. This energy is beautiful, isn't it?
I mean, I understand that. Yeah, I mean, I know everything.
I know you
I
do.
I can recognize, and instead of rambling and kind of blabbering as they tend to when they don't truly understand something, Atari will instead take a moment to bask in the grandeur of what they witness here. And they will not only take in the sounds and the sights, but there's something about the smell of the water. There's something about that feeling of the air where it is a little cool, but you also have that sense of humidity where you've got that slight stickiness against the feeling of your fur. There is the what time of day is it? Like give or take.
I picture this happening kind of evening. Like I feel like we pulled up around dinner. So, this is like maybe 9-10.
I think that's wonderful then, because we have that backdrop of the sky with the stars speckling the darkness overhead that casts almost like a beautiful sparkling array over the sight that we're seeing. And if there are any reflections upon the water with like little bright dots, it lends to a beautiful scene. And this might be the first time that Atari is seeing this. So instead of, go ahead.
I would like to add to that, Atari, because I have been sitting on a move that I have been really excited to pull, and that is Larry's have circumstances and probably work out for you. Because not only do we get this gorgeous scene that you're seeing that feels rare and beautiful in the gentle way that all of the small things of the world can tug at your heart, there are bubbling up and emerging from the water two like lily pad lotus flowers that pop up and open to reveal gods that were sitting at the bottom of the water that we thought we might miss, but because we took the time to save this poor soul who is drowning in the lake, now we get to meet and pay our respects to both of them.
then. I think Atari's eyes are closed during this entire time as they're taking it all in, and I think Palmier just kind of looks over and goes, "Atari, dear, turn your head right and open your eyes."
And what is the first sight that my eyes see? My little yellow
Oh,
skunk
I'm
eyes.
guiding you to look at the two gods. I gently say, "Our dance brought them here."
Of course, I know that. I know everything.
I think the gods drift over to join you two. Like, that's what makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think you all dance together.
And I think paying off the painful moment, the sort of harder play from earlier, I think like Sender is kind of off like with the hyenas and the toads and the hellbender, and like misses it, right? Like that sort of painful prophecy from the breeze of like, you can save this person or you can see these gods. Like that is like exactly comes true because Sender made that choice and saved that person, and those gods came to visit, but Sender just wasn't in the spot to see them, and like the prophecy comes to pass exactly that, and they like the moment happens and like they drift off, and there's just this quiet like this there's like the song kind of goes quiet, and the two of you dance with these gods for a moment, but like Sender is just not there.
So I was going to take a token earlier because I was definitely taking a moment to watch a tiny moment of beauty, especially as I was guiding Atari to have their own moment of bask and splendor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to spend a token to provide a solution. I'm sorry. I'm going to spend it to.
I can throw out a I depending on if you're trying to address the problem of Sender not seeing it, there you can spend a token to defy Guile's
That's
prophecy.
Exactly.
That if you wish to defy the prophecy, you have to spend a token.
I'm going to spend the token.
Yes.
But I have it. Basically, it's going to be it's for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm spending the token now, but it's like a post-credit scene that I'm thinking about.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
So I'm going to hold on to that.
Well, do we want to end here? It seems like this is a sort of a beautiful moment to end.
I do think we're closing in on that. There is kind of one thing that I wanted to do. I think Gustav, like after rowing ashore, I think Gustav doesn't even notice that he asks Sender to like, hey, can you clear up over here? I gotta go watch Palmier dance, and like. So Gustav doesn't even know, but like kind of haphazardly and thoughtlessly, he has cut Sender off from this moment so that he can go watch his crush dance. And as he arrives, like the gods have drifted over and he goes to like watch this dance. And, there are lots of people around watching this dance because even before the gods got involved, it was a moment of rare beauty. But of course, Gustav can't really bring his attention to the gods or even Atari, who is shining in this moment as they are learning this dance and getting to be a part of it, because he only has eyes for Palmier. And like the dance ends and he wants to get up to go talk to Palmier about the feelings that he has been wrestling with that are caught in his throat, but he can't bring words to. And he's once again brought back to knowing that he cannot be resolute and cannot be enough. So he can't bring himself to get up to do that. But I am not Gustav, and I can spend tokens. So what I am going to do is spend a token to listen to the shared wisdom of the small and forgotten gods and ask the table what they tell me. So I would like one of these gods that has finished this dance and emerged from the water to drift over to me and tell Gustav something. What is that thing?
Oh, goodness.
I think one of the gods drifts over and looks over at Gustav and says, well, do you know his favorite color?
And of course, Gustav knows his favorite color, because we've talked for hours upon hours, many, many nights, until the sun came up and it was no longer my duty to keep the light. I'm not going to impose that on Steve's character, though. Steve, what is...
Oh, you can pick any color you want.
I'm going to go a little weird with it and say it's cream. It's like a pearlescent cream.
Uh,
I hate it. I'm so
I
sorry.
think the god is going to reach out a glowing hand and just sort of open it up, and a little very beautiful pearl shell that looks like it was down all the way at the bottom of the water falls right into your hand.
Yeah, and I think like we have this moment where Gustav is clutching it in his tiny little raccoon hands, and we can see reflected in his dark eyes that pearlescent wonder of something that has spent so long under muddy water, making itself more and more beautiful with each passing day.
The god looks at Gustav and says, "Is that enough?"
Yeah.
And I think the other god comes up and just like floats up, like you've got this beautiful treasure in your hand, and the other one floats up. Just fucking kiss him already.
There it is. And they do tell you that you are enough.
Yeah, and with that, like, Gustav has like this excited, like, I think 4-legged bound over where he almost bowls over and like knocks over Palmier, who's probably in the middle of a conversation, like kind of explaining the dance both to Atari and kind of like a gathered audience of onlookers who are, so happy to have gotten to witness something like this. Gustav like sort of pulls him out of that, and like eyes sparkling with I think Larry has like come over from the lake and is now like whizzing around the two of them, making like this firefly with, because of this butt dip, this rad sort of sparkling firework style effect in the air. He'll grab Palmier's hands and like wrap this beautiful object into them, like giving them a chance to both look down at the treasure that is now shared between their hands, and then look up from that into each other's eyes. And I will spend a token to allow someone to connect with you on a personal level.
I look down at the shell. Was it the shell or pearl?
It's like a pearl cream colored like
Okay.
shell. Mhm.
I look down at it, and it's not something that even would occur to me that you would remember, because it has come up in the conversations that we've had long into the hours where rambling happens, where you don't even remember what the conversations were. But for Palmier, who is honest, handsome, and a little bit of a himbo, let's be honest, he's not going to remember those conversations that well. He just remembered the experience. But it's clear that Gustav remembered every bit of those conversations. And Palmier looks down with surprise, going, How did you... This is my favorite color.
I remembered.
This... And I think I like this idea of like, right as there's a gesture of like pulling Gustav in. And it's not clear if it's a kiss or a tight hug, because a very large hyena like moves right in the way. And I think, but there is going to be, I think, Etsy the opportunity if you want to be able to have a facial reaction to what is happening, like hidden behind a hyena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ezzy definitely smiles and does a bit of like a fist pump.
Ha!
I think
Yes.
tin mug in hand, standing next to Ezzy, like Sender takes a sip, like we did a pretty good thing today.
Yeah.
So I have an after credits scene that I spent a
Yes.
token on earlier.
Yeah, that seems like a good credits roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So credits roll. We find out who the voice actors were for these characters.
We find out about that key grip.
Yeah, we find out the key grip. We find out about like the massive amount of animators who worked on this.
A lot of studio babies.
There's a lot of studio babies.
Oh, so if this is a key grip, that means this is a stop motion animated.
Heck
thing,
yeah.
which
Oh,
I love
yeah.
even more.
This is a Leica product. This is a Leica production.
Yeah. Like a Wanderhome.
Yeah. So I'm setting this. I'm not gonna be part of the scene, but I'm gonna set the scene. Are you okay if I narrate a little bit for you?
Please.
Cool. It is much later that night. It looks to be like it is you are set up in the room that you're going to be staying in. And there is a soft knock at the door. And a familiar voice pipes up from the other side of the door.
Hey, do you want to hang out? I have some friends, and I think you would make great friends with them. I mean, look at them. I mean, hey, do you want to hang out?
I'm like groggy, like barely awake, like always and every day. And I like open the door, and all we see are kind of the feet. We see Sender's little like taloned feet, and just like the tin coffee cup just drops,
And I
then
think
it cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And folks, that's Wanderhome.
Wanderhome.
Yeah.
I love this game so much.
Yeah, I want to thank you all so much for playing with me. Adira, I want to thank you especially for helping guide us through this experience with your wisdom. That it was so very helpful. Chat, I want to thank you so much for sharing this experience with us. I think we all got to see a moment of rare beauty together, just in our mind's eye. I will say once more, Wanderhome is on Kickstarter right now. If you have not backed this, I recommend go to Kickstarter right now, search for Wanderhome, or follow one of the links that we've posted in chat. Check it out for yourself. You will not be disappointed. Again, this is a beautiful treasure of a little game, and I think you will very much enjoy the experience. With that said, I'm going to give everybody one last chance to plug your projects so that people can find you and enjoy the beautiful artistic things that you bring into the world. Adira, start us off, please.
Yeah, I'm Adira Slattery, at Adira Slattery on Twitter. My games are at adira.itch.io. I'm also a stretch goal writer for 2 Kickstarters going on right now. One of them is the lovely Wanderhome, where I'm also wrangling all of the other stretch goal writers and hearing about a lot of really cool ideas that people are having about some very cool playbooks. And the other Kickstarter that I am writing for is Gun and Slinger, which is a very cool 2-player game that did your episode already go up, Jeff?
The Party of One episode, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Thursday, dropped on launch day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I thought. Which you can listen to Jeff play with the main designer Devin on Party of One. Yeah. And if you want to check out my games, I just released a GM-less monster fucking space sports game called They Came to Play Ball.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Please support that.
And Adira, does that officially have a Blaseball like expansion to it? Like I know you had mentioned that.
Yeah, Blaseball is one of the touchstones. Touchstones are things like Blaseball 17776, Space Jam, Beast Fucker, a lot of things. Yeah. But yeah. If you want to keep up with anything that I do, just Google Adira Slattery. Cool.
Wonderful.
B, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey all. My name is B. You can find me on Twitter as at B_Zelda. If you want to follow me on Instagram, where I mostly post selfies and dog pictures. Add an extra underscore to that. And you can follow me there. I am typically a podcaster. I am a member of the Broadswords, which is an all-woman, non-binary D&D RPG podcast. I am a streamer. You can catch me technically, I think this week coming up. We have on Tuesday, I am playing in a Burn Bright campaign on the at Salty Sweet Games channel. And then on Wednesday, oof.
You pronounced it right the first time. Wednesday. Very
Wednesday.
good.
Very correct. Thank you. On Wednesday, that's the one. I am going to be playing, I think Life About Cats, something cat related. It is a PBTA game. It is GM-less. It will be GM'd by Simon. Can't remember his Twitter, but regardless, it will be on Hughtopia.
Lucha Libres.
Is that Lucha Libres?
Oh, you're wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be real good.
Yeah, Simon's awesome.
Yeah. That's more or less what I'm doing right now. Follow
Cool.
me on Twitter.
Jeff, please.
All right. I am Jeff Stormer. I'm a podcaster, game designer, and the unofficial LARP designer of the Olive Garden restaurant. You can find me on Twitter at Party of One Pod. You can check out All My Fantasy Children on the One Shot Network. That's a tabletop adjacent storytelling world building podcast. Also relevant to this stream is you can check out the other podcast I produce, Party of One. Last week we played Wanderhome, myself and Jay Dragon, and actually I played Sender. Sender's a carryover from that episode, so there's some cross continuity there going on. So if you want to hear further adventures of this character, or possibly earlier adventures, time is weird. You can check out Party of One. You can find that at partyofonepodcast.com.
Radical. And Steve.
Yeah. So again, I'm Steve Discount. Not a ton to plug. You can find my Twitter. I want to make sure I'm putting in the right direction here. And I am also the co-host of Session Zero, a podcast that is on the One Shot Network, which is a exploration into role-playing through the lens of psychology. So me and my colleague Porter Green, who is a licensed clinical psychologist, I'm an industrial organizational psychologist. We are basically working to teach people about psychology and hopefully bring some interesting things to your table. We're currently on a little bit of a hiatus because world. But at some point, hopefully soon, we will find a way to make things work out for our show again. So keep an eye out, or you know what, just go check out the past archive. Our stuff's good, I believe.
I can confirm it is indeed good.
Yeah, I like it.
I have been James D'Amato. I host the Campaign Skyjacks podcast, which is a podcast about very gay sky pirates in an anti-colonial setting. It's super fun, lots of laughs and tears to be had. I also host the One Shot podcast. Right now, we are finishing up a run of the King Killer Chronicle role-playing game, which is not a thing that exists yet, but it is a thing currently in development, and you get to see a playtest of it. And if you liked B, I've got good news for you, because they are on that too, and also play an extremely delightful character. So
I have a type.
Please check that out. And coming up after that, the next episode of that is going to be next Monday. But after that, we are playing another J-Dragon game, Sleepaway. And the cast I have for that is pretty friggin' dynamite. I've got my friends Molly Ostertag, Noelle Stevenson, Brennan Lee Mulligan, Lola Binkard, and Ben Joseph. You've heard them play together before on our Masks episode that we did way back when, but they came back to play Sleepaway because this is like just a fun bit of trivia. Jay attended and is now a counselor at the summer camp that Brennan and Molly attended which is called the Wayfinder Experience, which is a LARP summer camp. Extremely cool, with like just an impressive list of alumni and folks who have done cool stuff in games. So please check out those episodes because they are truly fantastic. All of the games that Jay makes are like these beautiful, special little treasures, and you definitely don't want to miss out on that. So with that, I am going to wave a hearty goodbye to the stream. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.